Start recording. Hello. Welcome. The weird thing is now that I made that channel intro, I feel like I have to introduce the beginning of every session now, which is weird. Hi.
Well, you've already ruined it.
I'm not going back now. This is too chaotic and too Joe. It's
You're
perfect.
in too deep. It's not a good cold open.
It's okay. I'm going to keep going. Hello, and to anybody who's watching, welcome to the Explorers of Efera Session 13, titled To Be Determined. So, yeah, exactly. So, last we had left off with our intrepid group of adventurers. They had been neck deep in the bullshit of the Tarkirian Trading Company and all of these different shady groups that exist interconnected throughout Efera. Your interactions with Jalissa eventually culminating in your need to leave New Verdalka at the risk of, well, something very bad happening to you and those that you care about. So you leave, and you begin your travels, and eventually you get to the Colorful Cauldron Inn, which, as all of you discovered, was owned by a haggish woman who apparently was an actual native to Efera, who had opened this place and been corrupted by this greed and anger to do these terrible things to travelers who, I mean, for the most part, were fairly innocent. And a lot of the ones that you knew of secondhand had no stake in any of this. But she did what she did, and all of you brought justice down on the Colorful Cauldron Inn. Some of you more willingly than others. Some of you were very upset that you have to keep sticking your neck out and almost dying because of it, but all of you keep doing so. You keep trying to help people along your journey. So, after everything happening, killing the hag, you go back to the Colorful Cauldron Inn, you talk to Thomas and Fro, and the two of them decide that they are going to stay in the Colorful Cauldron Inn, change the name to the Leaping King, and have what are practically trading card conventions at the Colorful Cauldron Inn. Yes. So, the biggest thing, by far, that happened while you were fighting the woman, Mama Z, was she was about to cook a man by slow boiling him over her cauldron, her vat. You free him and you begin to talk to him, and you discover his connection to, well, all of you, and to the events that transpired in Sunken City Bay, and the feelings he has towards the Tarkirian Trading Company. And one thing that sort of sticks out above the rest is the thing he said about being told that he needed to do what Baralo and the White Ravens had done so long ago, which, for all of you, that barely rings a bell because of, it seemed like it was so long ago. Delving into Baramichi's tombs, those were two things that you had seen there, so that was a point of interest. But you free the Colorful Cauldron Inn from its oppressive grasp, and you move on. You decide not to linger too long, because, well, people might be angry. So you decide to leave Thomas and Fro there in the hopes that they'll be able to quell some of the anger and aggression that might be expressed. So all of you leave the Colorful Cauldron Inn bright and early in the morning, and you take shifts sleeping in the cart. After about 16 hours, getting that full 8 hours of rest that all of you need, you finally are all well rested, recovered, and you can feel just a little bit more power coursing through your veins. You feel as though there's some type of experience that you've now had time to reflect on. And yeah, you're level 4. So, the end of the 16 hours, around hour 17, cutting through this travel time, just trying to get to All's Crossing, this small town that is hopefully actually safe, and not the fake kind of safe that the Colorful Cauldron Inn was, hoping that it's actually a good place. That it's someplace you can sleep in a bed for once. Jesus Christ. But, sadly, as with most things on your adventure so far, as you are riding down the road that connects New Verdalka to New Efera, your destination, jungles on your left and right, and maybe 15 to 40 feet to your northwest, you can see a very tall stone broken down tower, sort of erect out of the jungle canopy. As you see that tower, as you begin to slowly click down the road, you begin to hear that yipping, that cursory noise of a gnoll attack. You all ready your weapons, fearing what might come next, but some of you a little bit more eager for what might come next. As you all brandish your weapons, ready to fight against the gnolls, your horse sort of stops moving. They become apprehensive. And there is this sort of chill that comes over the air as this portal opens up maybe 15, 20 feet ahead of you. And emerging from that portal is a man that 4 of you know as the Warlock. A man who, on one occasion each, had communicated with the party for Morganix, and when Al was with you, stealing that book from the 2 of you after those withered gnolls had attacked you, and Sayla, Cyrus, and Alec, after you all had retrieved the map and that golden key from that boat. He froze the 3 of you and stole that key, and you saw him unlock one of the 3 locks on that book. Now he stands before you again. You can hear the gnolls yipping and very, very loud on your left, right, and even behind you, as you see some of them begin to emerge from the canopy. So, go ahead and move you guys now to here. So, in the bottom corner, that tower up there is the one that you can see erected maybe 15, 20 feet out of the ground. All of you can see that there are maybe 6 or 7 gnolls that have begun to sort of emerge from the thick of the jungle, and the Warlock stands maybe 15, 20 feet in front of you. He holds no weapons. He doesn't seem to be brandishing any spells. He just stands there. He looks to you, Morganix, and Alec being at the front of the cart, sort of cocks his head. Where is the key?
DM question.
Yeah.
Do we have that key still? Didn't Sayla pick it up?
No, you sold it to Jalissa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, and she gave you, I think, 45 gold each for the key.
Oh, of course we did. Okay.
Priorities.
Alec is going to take a very quick glance back at Sayla Morganix, but not really do anything else. She has her sword in her hand, though.
Okay. Give me the key.
We don't have it. That's all she'll say.
Yes, you do. He does. In the back. I want that key. You can either give it to me now, or the gnolls will attack, and maybe you'll live and you'll escape. But then Korvac will come. And I can guarantee you that death will be painful and excruciating. So give me the key, and I will let the 5 of you go.
Alec is just gonna turn around and look at Varnast. Is that who he's talking about?
Is that a man in the back?
Well, there's a Cyrus back there too. Just gonna look at the two of them.
Same with Sayla.
I really can't remember at the end of last session if I summoned the Hexblade or not. I felt like I did something, but just in case, I'm gonna summon it now.
Okay. And you can see the gnolls on your left and right, some 5-10 feet away from you. They are just panting heavy, sort of licking their lips, brandishing these bloody and rusted weapons, just itching for the command.
A moment, darling.
I will give you 15 seconds.
Much obliged. Okay, what fucking key? I don't have a fucking key.
Varnast, do you have a key?
Varnast kind of like, it looks like he's thinking for a moment. He's like, yes. I mean, I just found it. I don't even know what it's for. Do you want me to give it to him? Is this an ally of yours?
Oh no!
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I didn't gather that.
Eldritch Blast.
At him?
Yep.
Okay, roll for an attack.
Fuck. Sorry, guys.
Well, that's gonna be an
Radar
initiative shortly.
for us.
Whoo! That is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage, which is agonizing.
It's not very agonizing.
That is okay. That's still what, 7 points of damage, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So you blast him in the shoulder, and you can hear those like bones snap, and it's like the bones in his body have been saturated in water, where instead of a snap, it's just a.
Ew.
His arm loose, he kind of snaps it back into place, just jamming it back into the socket. And he says, Fine, have it your way. Attack! Just sort of yelling out to the gnolls in front of him, and I would like everybody sitting on top of this cart with one very scared horse to roll for initiative.
Sorry, guys.
Nah, it's probably a good thing he doesn't have the key. What do you mean?
Oh, did it not take mine again?
Did you click on your token?
Oh, no.
Oh shit, I didn't either.
That's okay, I can add you guys there. And Alec, go ahead and roll for initiative for your dog, too.
Foolish.
Oh, never mind, he goes on your turn. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Alrighty. Alright, give me a second here. Let me roll. Oh. Uh-oh.
Oh no.
I hate you. I'm scared.
Yeah, that was unnecessary. I'm sorry.
You're just all gonna die now.
Yeah, that's a no from me, dog.
God. There we go.
We could ever just have a comforting, like, stroll through the woods with nothing bad happening.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Nah.
What kind of D&D do you want to play?
I want to
This is
play.
great.
I want to play Oregon Trail D&D.
Oh, goodness.
What, we all
Actually-
black infantry?
Oh God. There we go. All right. Okay, initiative. Oh, that didn't roll. Initiative. And initiative. Alrighty, there we go. Shoot.
Oof.
The bad guys did really good.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Alrighty. But everything is not sorted yet, so let me go ahead and sort. There we go. Alright, so not as good. But so then we have. Alrighty, so first up we have got.
My token's not on the turn order.
Oh, you're not. Oh, that's right. Okay, sorry. Yeah, let me add that real quick. Add. And Morganix, yours wasn't either, right?
That is correct.
Okay. You good, you good, you good. Okay, so we have 8 and a 14. Gotcha. So 8.12, and we have a 14.2. 14.2. Oh. Sort descending. Alrighty, there we go. So first up we have, oh, actually these two were tied. So the sort of like there are two gnolls that are very heavily armored with much cleaner, much nicer weapons, and there's one who seems to be ready just to lunge right at you, Alec, but you can see him just wait and just sort of like step back for a second to let his leader go. So go ahead and have him go here. So he, right off the bat, is going to he's going to look up at you, Morganix, and, you know, you're not the only one who can do that. And raise up his hand and Eldritch Blast at you. Boop, boop, boop. So that is 2 beams. And...
Oh shit, he's level 5 or higher.
So that is a 19 and a 9. So the 9 misses. But then that is... 6 points of force damage as that one slams into your chest and you kind of feel the air escape from your lungs for a moment and gain them back, but still a little shaken. And he is going to step back 5 feet, and that'll be the end of his turn. And he will now let this gnoll go, who is going to run up straight to you, Alec. And they're going to make a, let's see here. Okay. So he's going to run up, and he's got this like glaive where he's just going to run up next to you and just flourish while you're sitting down on the cart, or kind of like half standing, and is going to 2 glaive attacks. That is a 15 and a 20.
Oh, yep, they both hit.
Okay. That is, ooh, that's not good damage, though. That is a total of 9 points of damage.
Okay.
Those are pretty low on the rolls. Okay, so with that, Varnast, it is your turn.
All right. So, feeling a little guilty because apparently this is his fault. He's going to quickly look around and deciding if it's not broken, don't fix it. Right about here, he's going to cast Shatter, which should hit those 3 in the bottom right. And we're going to channel Divinity that to maximize it again.
Okay.
So really good combo early levels.
Yeah. So that is, yeah, if you just want to drop that in, because how much is that? The 3d8?
Yeah, so it's 24 damage, and they have to beat 14 on their DC, and it's, sorry, let me drop that.
Yeah.
Constitution saving throw.
Constitution, and they need to beat a 14.
Yep.
Let's see what that is. Okay, so one of them succeeds, the one on the very bottom succeeds, but the other 2 fail, taking 24 points of damage.
And the other one takes 12, the one that passed.
24 minus 12. So you see, Varnast, as you cast it, those two gnolls closest to Cyrus, you actually see that thunder and force and lightning just sort of crackle all around them, and the bones of the one just kind of scatter out. And on the other one, the body just sort of crumples in on itself, the bones breaking and cracking, and just falls down onto the ground dead as well.
All right. So that panned out. Okay. And then I will run up and I'll go right there.
Okay, kind of, yeah. Make a little distance between everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to put myself between these three so they don't. So hopefully they go for me before they go for Cyrus.
Okay. All right. Gotcha.
And that will be it because I don't have a bonus action right now.
Okay.
Legolas, I got 2.
Alrighty. Very good. And then there we go. Alrighty, so that is the end of Varnast's turn, and then we have the other very strong-looking gnoll who, seeing you eradicate 2, is going to run over here. He is going to go ahead and make 2 glaive attacks against you. That is, oh god, that's a 9 and a 9.
Woohoo!
Yeah, both those miss, but then he's going to use his bonus action to incite Rampage. And in the gnoll right in front of you that he hit, they will go ahead and make a melee attack against you for a 20.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. That is, whoa, 10 points of piercing damage.
You always roll so high against me.
Woo! God, that was a 10 on the damage die right there.
All right.
Yikes, amundo.
I'm okay. That's smarted, but I'm okay.
All right, well, at least you didn't get hit with the other 2, right?
Fair.
Alrighty. So then that will be the end of their turn, and then we come to Selah.
All right. So because this guy hasn't gone yet, I can use Assassinate on him, correct?
I believe so, yeah.
So I roll with advantage?
Let me see.
I always thought it was like a guaranteed crit.
Yeah, if you hit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But I'm not sure if you get advantage when you assassinate. Let me see. You have advantage on any attack rolls, and if you hit... Oh, okay, yeah, so it's like a... Okay, cool. Yes, so you do get it. You have advantage, and if you hit, it crits.
Sweet. Okay. So I'm going to attack with Baramichi's sword.
Ooh, Baramichi Saber. Yes.
Mess it up.
22, that hits. Go ahead and roll your damage. Alrighty, cool. So for... Oh, wait a second. So that's actually a crit. So it is actually 20 points of slashing damage.
Nice.
20 points of slashing damage, very good. So you sort of whirl up the blade and slice through the bones, just slashing them in half, sending the bones scattering in front of you as this gnoll is dead. Alrighty, anything else?
She's gonna ready her bow. Can I ready the bow?
Yeah, sure, you can, as a bonus action, you can sheath your sword, pull out the bow just in case anything comes.
Okay.
Alrighty, so then we come to Alex Silverfoot. What are you doing?
Okay, well, with this gnoll right in front of her, she's already had her sword drawn, so she's gonna go ahead and rage because she's angry. And slash out at it.
Against, was that the gnoll that just hit you?
This guy right here in front of me, yeah.
Okay, so yes, that is a hit. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Lovely. She's very angry.
Ooh, yeah, you are. Holy shit.
We're getting numbers, gents.
Yeah.
Ruin his whole career.
Making it
Oh,
up from
God.
last week.
That is funny. Alrighty. So,
How is he looking? Like, I want her to just, like, run it through right into his gut.
Alrighty, so that is... Oh, fuck, I'm so bad at math. 23 points of damage. Woo! He is... That one attack really knocked the wind out of him. That knoll that's right in front of you, who's sort of... where he's definitely freaking... Whoa! To match the music, he's freaking out quite a bit.
So Alec will, like, she'll make a little whistle sound, and have Dogglin run up next to him and go for the throat.
Okay. Runs next.
Once I find Dogglin's character sheet.
It should be in the pets folder all the way up at the top.
That's right. He's not a PC.
How dare you?
I know. Oh, bite. Chomp on him.
Oh, but sadly not with advantage.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize his character sheet with advantage. I can roll again if you'd like.
No, that's okay. We'll take the 23. So go ahead and roll
for the throw, but ignore the advantage thing.
Yeah, that's okay.
Or the yeah.
Alrighty, so 2d4, 9 points of damage. Woo! So your armored dog, your Dogglin, jumps out of the cart and skirts off to the side, jumps up at the throat of this knoll, bites into the throat, but is not able to get enough pressure down on it to really cut through anything deadly enough, and the knoll just kind of pries off the Dogglin's mouth and just throws it back on the ground as it sort of yelps and then scurries back up on all four, just growling at the knoll as the knoll like points its glaive at it.
Sorry, just checking. Does that oh, sorry, you made the strength saving throw?
Oh no, I did not. So strength saving throw. DC 11. It does succeed. Yes.
Sorry, I didn't want to interject. I was just curious.
No, you're good. You're good. I forgot. So thank you. Alrighty. So, anything else for Dogglin, or is he staying there?
Sorry, I thought I muted myself. He's gonna stay right here.
Okay. All right. That's the end of the dog. Now we come to this knoll right here next to Varnast, and yeah, Varnast, you are just getting you're getting the trifecta here.
Bring it on. This is my job.
So he is going to go ahead and make 2 spear attacks against you. It's a 13 and a 6.
Those are both misses.
That ain't it. But then he will also Insight Rampage. So that way each knoll on your left and right can go ahead and make an attack.
Oh no.
Yeah. So we got glaive. Oh, fuck, that's a 10. And that's an 11? Are you kidding me?
I look like a badass.
Holy shit. So yeah, you just shield up, longsword out, you dive into it, and this knoll approaches you, makes 2 spear thrusts. You deflect each one with your shield. Then you see him like, and hear him like yip and growl and bark. As the heavily armored knoll goes and brings his glaive down, you sort of kneel down on one knee, block. And then as the other knoll brings a spear, you deflect with your sword. And Cyrus, holy fuck, does Varnast look cool right now. Even in the stressful situation, you're like,
over.
Alrighty. Well, that is the end of their turn. Okay, this knoll will go ahead and make 2 spear attacks. Okay, alright. A 9 and a natural 20. So, you know, I mean, I would be excited, but Jesus. Okay, so that is... Oh, wow. Okay, that is 16 points of damage on that natural 20.
Sorry, against who?
Against you.
Oh, crap. Okay. So as that hits, Varnas speaks a little bit of primordial and his eyes go blue, and lightning shoots out from his chest at the knoll as I use my Wrath of the Storm reaction.
Creatures in 5 feet if you attacking reaction. Dexterity saving throw. Okay. Okay, so they succeed.
All right, so it takes 5 damage.
So it takes 5 points of damage. Okay. All right, it's still, oh man, it's still hanging in there. But as soon as it stabs in your leg, with that spear, you break it off, and as soon as you do, as soon as your sword makes contact with that spear, there is just this jolt of energy, like when a tree gets struck by a bolt of lightning, and just courses up the spear and just shocks the knoll. It makes this mournful, this whimpering noise, but is able to sort of able to just kind of move around a little bit to avoid too much of the shock, and sort of drops the spear and then picks it back up after most of the electricity has been discharged from it. All right. That's the end of its turn. Now Cyrus.
I'm going to haul ass out of this carriage again. Nope. And just run down here. And this one attacking Varnast, I am going to throw a Chaos Bolt at it, but I'm also going to use Tides of Chaos. So, would you like my D100 now or later?
I would like you to roll your D100 now.
Okay.
Please don't kill me.
It's come close a few times.
Oh, I remember.
All right, so real quick, let me... I really just need to... I don't know why I don't pull up the chart before we start playing.
Yeah, I know. It happens regularly.
Yeah. All right, so let's see here, and...
Oh god.
Okay,
I don't like that.
Let me see here. Okay, right there. Okay.
Oh no.
Are you okay?
It's just so ridiculous. Okay, we're gonna do that just because it matches Efera better. So, Cyrus, as you cast the spell,
Oh my god.
you can hear this. You discharge the chaos bolt as the winds of chaos surround you and swirl around you. But you can hear this hoot, this like. But at the same time, there is also a growl underneath it. This coming from maybe 40 feet in the opposite direction. You think fuck, but you're still cast the spell. So go ahead and
Yep.
That does not mean it's friendly.
No.
I already killed all the ones on that side. Damn it.
Yeah, it sounds very confused. Okay, so 24, that hits. Go ahead and roll your ridiculous damage.
There we go. I'll see if any of them chain. They did not.
No, okay. But that is
And
still...
what damage did that do? It's either a 2 or a 5, so that did. I would say that's going to do lightning damage. That's
hey,
thematic.
Yeah. Okay, so 12 points of lightning damage. So, as the winds of chaos swirl around you, you can hear that hooting growl coming from 40 feet northwest of you, and then you discharge the lightning bolt. Varnast, if you didn't know any better, you would assume that Itacia and Acadia are protecting you, but as you look past after the lightning bolt slams into the knoll, as it sort of yips and growls in that pain once more, you look, and instead of Itashari or Itacia or Acadia, you see that charming purple tiefling like channeling the lightning.
You're stealing my gimmick. Thought we were cool.
Okay, so Cyrus, anything else?
No, I'm just very nervous.
Okay, real quick, I would like you to make a perception check.
Okie dokie.
Just as your turn is ending, sort of taking a moment to look around you, listen. Okay, focused on the combat. You're really worried about that owl bear. You're not sure where exactly it is at right now or what direction it's moving. It doesn't sound happy, but that's about all you can hear. Alrighty.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That is Cyrus's turn. Now we go on to Morganix. What are you doing?
So I don't see the owl bear.
You hear it, but you do not see it.
Okay, I'm going to focus on what I can see. As my bonus action, I am going to cast Branding Smite. And then I'm going to charge at that thing and swing away.
Okay.
I do not like it. It should die.
All right, go ahead and roll an attack. Oh my god!
Okay.
Holy shit!
Okay.
Okay, real quick, let me check out your character sheet real quick. Make sure you got the crit set up correctly.
Does the branding smite get a crit as well?
Yes, it does. It's all dice rolled.
Oh my gosh. This is gonna be disgusting.
It ruined my bag. I'm hoboing it still.
There's no forgiveness.
Okay, so yeah,
Oh, damn.
the crit is correct. So go ahead and roll the damage. 20, and then 25, and then holy shit, 37? Is that right? Yeah, because the branding spite is 2d6, so that's 12 plus 20 is 32 plus 5 is 37.
Oh my god.
Woo!
This is the best thing I've ever done.
So, Morganix, as you bring the blade around, what does that branding smite look like for Morganix?
Very holy. It's just kind of glowing, sparkling goodness, very golden, and I'm not sure if it would touch the sword or not. That's a DM call, but yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I haven't thought about it very much, but I just look like I have my gods on my side right now.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So, brandishing that branding smite as it is like swirling around the Hexblade, and you can see that the two are like in constant conflict with each other, but it seems like it just made that damage more volatile as the purples and golds are fighting one another on your blade as you bring it down on this decayed warlock. It just explodes off of his side in that slashing radiant damage. And as it cuts in and just sort of fillets flesh from his like shoulder and arm, he sort of staggers back and grabs onto his shoulder and just pants. And as you recover and pull the blade back, you can hear a voice just sort of purr and stretch. Oh, yes, darling. That was it. Do that one more time and, well, I think I have a special surprise for you.
Way to make it weird.
And that, anything else on your turn, Morganix?
Nope, I've used everything.
Alrighty. So that is the end of your turn, and that brings us to Dead Knoll number 1. Then it is Dead Knoll number 2. And then it is Dead Knoll number 3. And then that brings us back up to the Warlock. So he is going to, after just having been hit by that terrible, terrible branding smite and the absolute brutality of that, he is going to
I might be about to die, y'all.
Aw.
Worth it.
Yeah, you know what? He is going to as soon as you hit him and sort of withdraw back, and he withdraws back, he... You stupid, stupid little girl. And maintaining seemingly the same theme of thunder and lightning, he's going to sort of take a step, just a small step back, and he is going to cast... Ooh. Well, actually, he's going to go ahead and step to the left here, and he is going to cast Lightning Bolt.
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
And so I need Morganix, Alec, and the Dogolin, and the one Knoll over here to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I think I have danger sense, so I get advantage on that.
Mm-hmm.
Bye, guys.
We've all been there.
Worth it.
So, yep, you do get advantage on that.
Oh, my Dogolin too? Sorry, I zoned. I was scared. I was really scared for Morgana, so I was just like, oh no, what's happening? Alright, sorry. He does not have advantage on that. Sorry, his character sheet looks kind of funny, so I don't know how.
Yeah, it's like there's no dexterity saving throw. It's probably just a dexterity modifier.
Okay. Does that work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry. His character sheet's a little funny.
No, you're good. Okay. So, with that... Oh, man. Oh, why am I so bad at math? Oh,
Because it's a lot of dice.
God. It's why can I not?
8675309.
Okay, so...
Same.
Morganix and the Dogolin take 24 points of lightning damage, and Alec, you take 12.
I'm out.
Oh, there goes my dog.
So he is knocked unconscious. That's that'd be really evil to say he's just dead. So your dog will, on your turns, you can either choose to use your action to stabilize him.
Wait. I love my dog, but is Morganix down as well?
Oh, yeah.
She is.
Okay, well, I love my dog, but I love you more.
That's
Okay.
my maximum hit points,
Oh my
24.
goodness.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm coming. Don't worry.
What about the Knoll?
Oh, the Knoll's fucking dead. Yeah, he rolled a 2. Yeah, yeah. Sorry, I got so caught up in the moment there. Yeah, the Knoll is barbecued.
And you said I took 20. I took 12.
You took 12. Yeah.
I was good math from my end.
So he looks
Wow.
down at Morganix as she sort of crumples down to the ground, charred by electricity and lightning, and looks at the hilt of the Hexblade as it kind of rolls away.
It doesn't disappear?
Not right now, no.
Fuck.
So, well, the blade itself does, but that metal rod that you have does not. And the hilt that was attached to it, or the pommel that was attached to it, those two items just kind of roll out of your hand. And he looks down at it, and I need to roll a d20. And all of the rest of you see as Morganix goes down and that hilt rolls away, you see him begin to kneel towards that pommel and hilt and begin to reach his hand out for it. And that is where his turn will end. And this Knoll is dead. And then Varnast, it is your turn.
All right. So seeing our situation, because I mean Varnas could see what happened with Morganix, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah. You can definitely see it. Oh, shit. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, there's one last thing that I forgot to do.
Okay.
Okay.
You take 1 million damage.
Yeah, no, the horse is also dead. Yeah, he's right in the path.
That's true.
Yeah, right in the path there. And so, yeah, Alec, as you are hit and sort of duck off to the side, you see Francois, his just entire, like, Oh, his just like neck and upper torso is just electrocuted, and you see him buck, but then just boom, clump on the ground in a lump. And yep, that is the end of the horse's turn. So sorry, Varnast, we can go ahead and head back to you now.
The horse's turn.
Yeah, well,
Right. So, seeing what happened, Varnas is going to look to Cyrus and he's going to go, "Help them up front, I got this!" And Varnast is going to mutter an incantation. He's going to cast... Sorry, let me find it. He's going to cast Thunder Wave at level 2. Oh, it didn't put the thing, sorry.
oh yeah, or else they're what? Push back 10 feet away from you?
Yeah, they have to make a, Sorry, hang on, I think it's Dexterity.
Or it's
Oh, no, it's Constitution.
yeah. Okay.
And I cast that at level 2.
17 points of damage. Oh man. So that's just the two in front of you, or is that?
It's a 15-foot cube. It's going to hit all 3.
Oh, very cool. Okay. So that means I need 3 Constitution saving throws. All 3 of those fail, so that is 17 points of thunder damage.
Yes, all 3 of them.
17 and 17, and then what? Push back 10 feet? Or is that something else?
Yep, push 10 feet away from the spell's effect.
Okay, so that means it would be 5, 10.
2 of them would technically be pushed off the map.
Yeah, so we're just gonna say he is he's off the map right there. But these 2, however, as you cast Thunder Wave, it just crumples them just like the Shatter effect, where they just sort of crumple inside of one another and then slop onto the ground about 10 feet away from you.
Nice.
Alrighty. So then that...
Sorry, not done yet.
Oh, you're not done yet. Oh, my bad. Okay, what are you doing?
Varnas is going to walk over and look at the knoll, and he's just going to go, "Well, look who's all alone now." And that will be the end of my turn.
Okay, very cool. So standing next to the unconscious but still breathing Dogalin.
Yes.
Then that brings us to Sayla. What are you doing?
Well, she's got another health potion. Will that help Morganix?
That would, yeah, you could use your action to feed it to her.
Okay. Yep, I know what I'm doing. She's gonna go save Morganix again.
I'm so
Again.
sorry.
So yeah,
still not allowed
that's
to
what
die.
she's gonna do.
Okay. Alrighty. So you can go ahead and as you get up next to her, you sort of prop her up and begin to feed the potion to her. So I would like you to go ahead and roll the potion, which I believe is... That one's just a common one, right?
No, it was
Yeah,
a
it's
greater
just a
I gave her.
Oh, was it a greater?
Oh, okay. So, yep, go ahead and roll your
Okay.
4d4 plus 4.
Where do I, what is... I've never actually,
Okay. On the top left-hand corner, there's like where the mouse and all that stuff is. There's like a little d20. And then if you hover over that, you can click however many dice you want to roll.
in my character sheet, or...
No. On the actual like page where the battle map is, there's like where there's like the little mouse and the drawing tool and the measuring stick.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yep. If you click on the d20
Oh, I got
there.
it.
Yeah, there you go.
Which dice did you want?
D4. So you want to do 4d4, and then it'll be 4 will be added to it.
I think I did that right?
Aw.
Oof.
I'm up.
So that's 10 hit points. That's 10 hit points. 10 ain't bad.
They really watered down that potion, didn't they?
Yeah, somebody was selling you false goods. Okay, so 10 hit
I got
points.
that from Jalissa, that bitch.
Morganix, you sort of open your eyes as you can feel that cool, like icy hot sort of liquid coating your throat, covering up some of your wounds and restoring some of your stamina. And you anticipate to see Alec or Cyrus or hell, even Varnast before you anticipated to see Sayla, the one feeding you the potion that she yells at you, "You fucking owe me." In true Sayla fashion.
Noted.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, wiping away the liquid, and that being the end of Sayla's turn, we now move to Alec.
Okay. Seeing the horse die, it really pissed her off, and then she's gonna look over and see her Dogalin down. But then seeing Morganix down, she's really fucking pissed off, so she just kind of gives this war cry, and she just screams as she's gonna charge after Warlock Dude. She's gonna, like, race around these two. And hopefully cut him down.
Alright, are you raging?
Oh, that hasn't ended for sure. Of course I am.
That's a hit.
Oh, thank God. Fuck yeah.
Alrighty, so that is 20 points of damage. Look at that. So, as you swirl around and cut into him, you can see that, like, reverberation of your divine fury. This, as you went into your rage, your blade still having some effect from Baramichi's tomb, being covered in, like, ice cold water, as opposed to the type of hellish radiance or necrotic, devilish necroticness, covered in that ice cold water as it slices into that combined with the glowing brandish from Morganix's branding strike, cutting into him, slashing him on the other shoulder, dealing quite a bit of damage. However, as you strike into him, he is going to use his reaction to do Hellish Rebuke. So, I would like you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, I still have advantage on that.
Uh-huh, yep, because you can see it coming. I just cast it 3rd level, though. Okay.
As she's, like, standing there with her sword in him, I know he's doing this. I just want her to be just screaming in his face. Like, just full-on shouting in his face. She'll take the pain, but she's just gonna keep screaming at him.
Okay. So, yeah, you go from that sort of, like, typically that, like, focused rage where you're almost like a tiger stalking its prey. But now, oh, not now. Now you are truly that real angry barbarian rage as you slash into him, cutting the blade deeper into his shoulder. He grabs it and sends a shock of what you would assume is going to be fire. That's what, you know, that's what it always has been from whenever you would see Cyrus do it. But instead, same as how you cut into him with that cold energy, there are just these sharp icicles that trace around the front of your blade and clasp and stab into your hand and arms and shoulders, dealing 21 points of cold damage.
I have 1 hit point left.
Woo!
And on pass. Damn.
Yikes. Yikes, yikes, yikes.
Alright, she'll take it. She'll take every bit of that, and she'll just keep shouting at him.
Okay. Alrighty, Alec, that is anything else on your turn?
I can't do anything else.
Okay, so then that one is dead. That one is also dead. Cyrus, it is your turn.
Okay. Do I recognize the direction the sound of the owlbear came from?
Yes, you do. You can hear it distinctly coming from your northwest.
I am going to haul ass to the northwest. I apologize if this doesn't work, everyone.
Oh god.
Let me just double check where that is. And I am going to be a bit cheeky here. Do I have visual of the owlbear?
Yeah, you can kind of see it. And you can see that flattened face, that beaked mouth, and it's sort of like... And as you step on a twig, it sort of... And you can see curiosity and confusion quickly turn to anger.
Now, I know it doesn't speak common, so I'm going to go... And, like, point towards the direction they're fighting and stomp on the floor and make angry noises and I cast suggestion.
Can you drop suggestion in the chat for me, please?
Yep. Now, I know it doesn't speak common. That's why I'm trying to make it understand. Hell, I'll throw a ration over there.
Oh my god, it does say a creature. I could have sworn it said humanoid, but yeah, it says creature.
Nope.
Okay, let me check something real quick. Yeah. Okay, and that's what, a charisma saving throw, a wisdom saving throw?
I believe it is
Wisdom. Okay. And
Yeah.
DC is
The DC is a 15.
15 on a wisdom saving throw.
Yes!
Oh my fucking god!
I love it.
So it sort of and like nods and slowly turns that way. And anything else, Cyrus?
I'm going to take a hesitant drink and think, oh fuck, I'm alive.
40 feet of movement. This work. Oh damn. Damn it. Okay, all right. That is sad. That is sad. Okay, so actually right after your turn, it is its turn. Just for convenience sake. Owlbear 9. Okay. So it's his turn, and he is going to... Well, the owlbear is going to move 40 feet. Which... Oh, wait a second. No, yeah, it can get to him. Okay. So it's going to get right up there. And we're going to tilt it back forward. And it's going to go ahead and do its... It's going to do its owlbear thing. And it is going to make 2 attacks. One with a beak, one with a claw. So the 17 hits, the 11 doesn't, and that is 7 points of piercing damage. Oh my god. So the beak slams into the warlock as he sort of turns around, definitely not expecting an owlbear of all things here, but stabs into him and brings up a claw, but you can see he just kind of moves out of the way as the owlbear slams the claw onto the dirt next to him. Okay, so that is the end of Cyrus's and the owlbear's turn. Morganix, you are up with 10 hit points, currently prone, as Sayla just got done feeding you the health potion. What are you doing?
Summoning the Hexblade.
Okay, so grabbing the hilt as he was reaching for it, reconjuring the Hexblade?
That's my bonus action?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, bummer. Okay, then I'm gonna stand up and attack him again.
Okay, go ahead and roll for an attack.
'Cause that's all I can really do at this range.
Okay, 19, that's a hit. That is
Oof.
5 points of damage. Alright. So then these 2 gnolls are dead, and then it is his turn. Okay. So... Sure. He is going to... Ooh, actually? Okay, so what I need is Alec, Morganix, and Sayla to make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
Bye, guys.
Oof.
Oh no!
Oh,
I have
no.
no more potions.
I have one.
Okay, good.
Just somebody drag my body off somewhere though, because I got 1 HP.
Oh, yeah.
What a rough day. Oh, I have lightning damage glue.
Is
Okay,
the Dogolin still down?
Yeah.
so... Morganix,
Sorry.
you take... Oh, man, why is it so... You take 9 points of damage.
I'm still up!
Yes. Good.
And Sayla and Alec, you take 4.
I died. I'm down.
Jesus.
This is the first time.
That-
That's weird. Oh.
Man, that was just his... That is just an effect, which I think I missed that last turn. That is just an aura. So as the 3 of you are standing right there, just being this close in proximity to him, you can hear these dissident whispers and these like gnolls yipping and just this constant chaos that, as it starts to keep going and keep getting louder, you just feel like you're losing your mind. And Alec, it is enough for you that you are just shattered, where you cannot think at all. You fall down onto the ground, clutching your ears as they begin to bleed. Morganix, you almost follow suit, but you manage to hold on to some resilience. And Sayla, this is the first time you've really been hit during this fight, and you do not like it. So, for his bonus action...
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's just an aura. He just, whenever you're within 5 feet of him...
I just see where he's moving.
He is going to Misty Step as a bonus action, right by you, Varnast.
Fuck.
And shout out to the gnoll in front of him. Hold him and get me that key. And then he is going to hold his action. You see him begin to conjure some type of spell in his hands, but that is it. Okay. So then there is the gnoll, who is going to run up to... Whoa, hey, there we go. He's going to run up to you, and...
Isn't that the gnoll who's dead's turn?
Hey, you're right. Haha. Okay, sorry, I left them on here. So now, Varnast, it is your turn.
So is he like slightly above me because he's like in the carriage?
Yes.
But like, is he still within reach?
For sure.
All right. So kind of like looking around, feeling like I've been surrounded like this whole damn fight. How is he looking, like, physically?
Because he's already so decayed, it's kind of hard to tell.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely what you might consider bleeding for him. But that's about all you can get.
Alright, so seeing that they're going to make some sort of an attempt on me, Varnas is going to cast Sanctuary on himself.
Okay, alright. So that's your bonus action?
Oh yeah, that is my bonus action. And I'll take a swing at him with my sword.
Okay, go ahead and roll for an attack.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a miss.
Yeah, I had a feeling. Worth it.
So
Worth a shot.
You sort of conjure yourself in this crackling energy to try and distort enemies from attacking you. And you try and take a swing in this defensive position. But he just backsteps out of the way before it's able to make contact. Now it is time for the gnoll who is not dead. The only one left. So he is going to run up to you. And for one is going to have to make a wisdom saving throw. Which your DC is 14, 15? 14? Okay. Okay, so that is a success. That is a 15. As he's going to come up in front of you, and he is just going to start, like, not attacking you. He throws his glaive down to the side, and he just starts rifling through your pockets, just trying to find it. So, where would you be keeping the box that you found in the forest?
Probably in, like, my bag.
Okay. So
it's like a full box. It wouldn't be in, like, my pocket.
Yeah. So he is going to... For one, he's especially this one, is not super smart. So we're just going to see even... Okay. Even he goes... Okay, so yeah. He does go for the backpack first, starting to root around in there. And then he's going to go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay, that is a 16 on his end, so he's gonna, like, rifling around in your backpack. He is able to find that box, and he lifts it up, and you know, most of the time you've just been hearing them like yip and yap and hoot and howl, but this time you hear him say, I have it! I have the box! I have it! I have it! I have it! And he's gonna use his movement, so that was 10 feet, 15, 20, 25. And yeah, he's gonna go ahead and set the box in the warlock's hands, and that's gonna trigger his action. So you see, and wait a second, actually, sorry, let me go back and read the spell real quick. I just want to make sure I'm not doing anything wrong. As long as their weight doesn't exceed what you can carry. Size are small. Oh, wow. Okay, so he's going to, holding the box in his hand, sort of look at it and begin to... Varnast, as you have your shield up just waiting for an attack, some type of something, you see those dark, clouded eyes. You see a bit of clear return to them for just a moment, where he looks down at the box and he just... Father, Liam, no! And that magic that was in his hand, he discharges the spell, and you can see this crackling portal of this deep blue energy appear behind him, and he looks down at the knoll, and he says, figure it out yourself. No pity for you. And steps through the portal. Casting Dimension Door, his last spell. He is gone. The knoll looks up sort of in anger and disarray, just... Where'd you go? Where are you? And just begins to, like, growl and bark and yap, angry. And that is the end of that knoll's turn. That brings us to Sayla.
All right. Let's see. Correct 20 foot. Yeah, I can totally make that. She's gonna, since she screamed at Morganix to help Alec, since Alec has the health potion on her, she's gonna come down here and she's gonna stab the shit out of it with Faramici's saber.
Okay, alrighty. So go ahead and roll your attack. Oh, God. So with the one, you try and make a slash at it, but the knoll is incredibly quick as you just see it sort of jump from left to right and left to right. You're just unable to anticipate the attack pattern as it just completely misses. Okay, so that is the end of your turn. And then, Alec, I would like you to make a death saving throw.
Okay. Never done one before. Oh, there it is.
Okay, that's a success. That is one success. As you do not, you're able to still hang on just a little bit. You're not entirely sure of what's happening, as right now you are just submerged in water. You are crashing amongst tumultuous waves, just trying your best to steady yourself and make sure your head stays above water. So, that is the end of Alec's turn. Dead Knoll, Cyrus.
I'm going to rush out of the brush.
Nice.
Turn towards Bernard and say, shh, 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 shh. Yes, his name Bernard. I then turn back to the knoll and I just shoot a firebolt straight at his face.
All right, roll for an attack for this normal spell.
Nice.
Sweet retribution.
Big money, big money. Well, here's the roll that counts, the damage roll.
Yeah, so it already is maxed out to 10 from the crit. So
Let's
go
see
ahead
the bonus.
and yeah, roll the d10 there, or roll the damage. So we'll ignore whatever the first one was. I said we'll ignore the first one, so that's 20 points of fire damage.
Yeah. Roasted.
So with that, Cyrus, how do you want to do this?
Like, I kind of run out of the brush. You just see me, like, scattered leaves, twigs breaking. I turn to this fucking owlbear. You just see me go, shh, 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 shh. Turn back to this knoll, literally point my hand out and put a fucking hole through his head.
In a not very typical Cyrus fashion, instead of immolating somebody, you treat it as a high-powered precision instrument as you just point your finger and, channeling your long-gone younger friend, you sort of just flick your thumb and fire out this bolt, and it's almost like a thin beam that slams into its right eye and just out the other end, immolating the inside of the skull. Just brain and tongue and everything just whoosh, mush and fire and ash as it just falls over limply onto the ground, as it seems as though combat... Well, after that, it's the owlbear's turn, and the owlbear is seemingly has completed its thing, so it's gonna look at everybody, and the owlbear is gonna make an insight check. Okay.
Good owlbear.
The
Let
owlbear
me love you.
is going to look at Alec's body. And look at you, Morganic's just sort of like half awake right now, eyelids sort of droopy. And is going to slowly turn around.
I love him so much.
And begin to make his way back into the forest. Until eventually, he is no longer able to be seen and sort of disappears. So with that, us coming out of combat, for one, real quick, Alec, I would like you to make 2 death saving throws for the dog.
Oh, my baby. Okay. How would you like me to do that? Because his character sheet's a little different. than
Just roll death saving throws for you. It's the same thing.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
No, you're good. Okay, that's a failure.
Oh, my poor baby. Okay.
And a success. Okay. So with that, out of combat, what is everybody doing?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Varnast would run over to Alec to heal her with a spell.
Okay.
Unless it's already been taken care of.
I would have, but you're probably faster right now. I'm at 1 hit point.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, so Morganix, you are just like reaching half-heartedly into your bag, just pushing as hard as you can, trying to pop open the... But as soon as you go for the cork, Varnast is already there. And Alec, you regain 13 hit points as you sort of shock back awake. You can feel as you are sort of about to be swallowed by this sea that you are trapped in. You feel a hand grab yours, and as you are pulled to, you see Varnast.
And then, before she can even say anything, I'll run over and I'll heal the dog as well.
Okay.
I was supposed to say Sayla's comforting the pupper.
Okay, so Sayla, real quick, I would like you to make a medicine check real quick. Just before Varnast is able to get over there. Because casting the spell does take a second.
Jesus, Cad. Medicine check?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
that checks.
So, Alec, I'd like you to make one last death saving throw for the dog. Doggolin.
I would have run over there as well to try to heal the dog.
Okay.
Oh, my
Okay, so that's 2 failures, 1 success. But luckily, I was just asking to see if you rolled a natural 1. But luckily, Varnast, you get over there in just the right amount of time. and you are able to heal the Dogalin for 6 hit points as it sort of begins to just kind of moan in pain and stand up. And as soon as it sees you, Alex, sort of getting up, it like runs limply over to you, kind of tripping over its one leg, which seems to be a little messed up still. And eventually it gets over and sort of tackles you onto the ground and just nuzzles into your chest and head. Just
she will like wrap him as much of in a hug as she can, and she'll just say, "You fought well. You fought so well. I'm so proud of you." And she'll just hug him.
And he'll kind of like do like a love bite on your chin and just as there's like gnoll blood on his mouth still.
Ugh.
Is Francois for sure dead or just unconscious?
No, yeah, he failed the saving throw, so he took the full.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
tote.
Yeah,
It's like the horse from The Godfather now.
Oh fuck.
yeah, he's not doing too good. All of your stuff. Oh, by the way, Sinver's fine too. He's just in the back, just.
I imagine my little fox weasel's like hiding under him or something.
Yeah. Foxweasel, as soon as it sees that everything's okay, it just sort of scratches Sinver's face a little bit to jump onto your shoulder, Sayla, and just as its long body still kind of like wiggling in the wind as it takes the 5-foot jump towards you, lands on your shoulders and sort of scratches your chin a little bit to make sure that you're okay.
I think as soon as she comforts her Dogalin, Alec is gonna get up. Her sword is still in hand, and she's just kind of looking around to see if this creature is still anywhere in sight.
Yeah, go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Because Kayla knows how Dimension Door works, but Alec doesn't. Fuck, perception. Whew.
Okay. You look around, and all you can hear is very vaguely in the distance. You can hear the of either a very large owl or an owlbear. It's so far away, you're not exactly sure anymore.
I think she was passed out by the time that it came here. I don't think she saw it.
Oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah. So yeah, you do know of owlbears. They were common in Congiato.
Alright, with that being said, she'll like slowly sheath her sword and look at Morganix and Varnast, and she'll just say, "Where is he? What happened? Who killed him?"
He disappeared. He took the key, or he took a box, and he kind of went through this portal.
Shit, what?
I will say, Morganix, as you sort of look down at the ground around you, you can see that there seems to be, from the hacks and slashes that you and Alec made into him, there are several pieces of what looked to be clothing that were a part of the cloak that he was wearing that were lopped off when you were hacking away at him. If you wanted to grab those,
I don't really want to touch them. I'm gonna sort of use the tip of my sword, my Hexblade, to examine them.
okay. You, having been around a lot of high-class people, you can recognize sort of upper echelon clothing of people who do have wealth and status. And definitely this clothing was once very nice and very expensive, but just being able to look at the thread and seam work, you can tell. But it just has been worn away from the elements and decay.
Did I hear him when he said Liam?
Yeah, I'll say yeah. He wasn't being quiet. It was just a moment where he was looking down, and you would have heard him say Fathena and Liam then. Oh yeah.
Thank you, sorry.
No, you're good.
He said 2 names while he was before he went through that thing. One of them was Liam.
Isn't that the name of Duncan's friend's son, correct?
Yes.
Is this Duncan's friend that we found?
God, I hope not, but it would explain some things.
There's no way that could be him, right?
If he's a... He cast... He might be... He might have a patron. He might be warped by something.
While she's saying this, Alec is kind of looking at Varnast. Where did you find this key? Why did you have it?
That's a good question. We sold it to there.
The book
Sorry.
had 3 locks on it, so it stands to reason there would be 3 keys. Now he's got 2.
Well, after my little incident in Sunken City Bay, I traveled the jungle as I told you, and I was just looking up one night as I was getting ready for sleep, and I saw a little glint, and I climbed up and I saw a little, like a little burrow for squirrels, and I saw the box in there, and so I just took it. Didn't realize it was anything when I did.
Can I insight check that?
Yes, you may. Go ahead and make an insight check. Varnast, are you being honest?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
did say that.
distrusting.
Sorry, you never know.
I'm gonna quickly throw Cure Wounds on Morgonic since it looks like she's about to die.
Thanks. Sorry you're wasting all your spells.
I'm gonna top you off with one more. My last spell slot. Awesome. Well used.
Oh, whoops.
Does the name we heard him threaten us with the name Forak, right? That was
Korvac.
oh my god, wow. What did I say?
Thorvac.
Dyslexia today apparently. Wow,
That's okay.
that K looked like a V. Yes, so we heard him threaten us with that name before combat started, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Does that ring any bells? Like, Alec will look around and she'll say, does anybody recognize this name?
I would say the only person who really could even make a history check would be Alec.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Her intelligence is not very good.
Alec, you know that you've heard that name before, but you cannot place it, and it is so frustrating to you that you can't, because you know that you and your father spent so much time talking about all of these different things, and you thought they'd never be useful, and you're just so frustrated you can't remember it. Yeah.
Would anyone mind filling me in on what the hell just happened?
An old friend came to call.
I mean, I'm still not entirely sure myself, even when we first met the nice chap.
I met it with Al my first day off the boat here. Duncan sent us to get a book, and it appeared out of nowhere and took it from us. And it did what you saw last night to my bag.
We had our first encounter when Jalissa sent us to find a key and a map to this lost city. And on our return, this creature appeared and took the key we had unlocked, presumably the same book, though the key did not fit the other 2 locks. And so he tossed it. Sailor recovered it, and we sold it to Jalissa. But now, I'm not sure if these keys are the same. I'm not sure how any of this connects to anything. But this is what we know.
I see. Well, what time is it in game?
It is. Sorry, let me just think here. You guys left in the morning around 6 a.m., and you'd been traveling for 16 hours. So that would be
10 at night?
Yeah, 10:30 right now.
Should we perhaps make camp in the tower and rest here till morning?
I think that's the best idea. I need a rest, and I'm sure some of you can also use a rest.
We should set a fire. I don't want Bernard to think we're part of his meal I'm preparing.
You named it?
Bernard?
I may or may not have summoned an owlbear to this plane. I then commanded said owlbear to attack said warlock.
Alec just kind of like looks at you and blinks a couple times.
You missed a lot.
It was honestly beautiful. If I wasn't scared for your life, I would have been just a puddle.
I thank you for being afraid for my life. I'm sorry I missed such a creature. Good work, Cyrus.
Perhaps he will visit. I don't. I'll be honest. I don't know what the fuck I did. I threw a spell and I heard a bear.
So, did you summon it or not?
Let's go with yes.
That is the more impressive assumption to make.
He gets a small chuckle out of Sayla as she just shakes her head.
And saying that, I immediately down a hip flask in case I am spewing chaos energy.
Can Alec go this way-ish over here and start investigating this tower?
Yeah, can Morgonix assist with that?
Yeah, sure. Either one of you
For
can.
traps. You guys are just gonna walk right in.
I said investigate! How was it gonna, do backflips on top of it?
Okay, well, all three of you can go ahead and make your own investigation check then.
We're all looking for different things.
Scanning the area.
Guys, I have expertise in investigation now.
Could I think Alec was more looking like, is this place suitable for like a camp?
Okay.
More like a survival-esque, rather than an investigation, because that's really not her thing.
Okay, well then yeah, you can go ahead and make a, we'll say...
If that's okay.
Yeah, we'll say perception. Just sort of generally surveying the area, making sure the defenses are promising.
Well, she's still hurt.
This bridge that leads up to this plateaued area is broken. You know that much.
Thank you. Ah, yes.
Yes. And you study it for a while, too, just to make sure that it is not an illusion. Morganix, however, you investigating the area, you get a much more thorough idea of this area. You see that the stairs are broken. You notice that in a few seconds, and Alec sort of studies them for a little bit longer, but you decide to let her have that. And the entire area is elevated maybe 15, 20 feet up off the ground, and the rock is so jagged and uneven that, aside from heading up these stairs here, which are currently kind of broken, there's not really a good way to climb it. You can see that the tower is practically... The 3/4 of it is still all the way put together, but the front portion of it facing you is completely shattered. You can see some of those crumples of stone in the forest. And I'll go ahead and change the image to here for a better idea of what it might look like. Where you have those stairs going up, and instead of that hole that's right there, it's just flat. And you can kind of see that flat part, and you can tell there are some rocks, and you see something a little brightly colored, but other than that, it's a little hard to see from your vantage point.
Alec, could you give me a boost up?
Yeah, of course. I will boost her up.
Okay.
Without chucking her. Just a nice boost.
Okay. Easy enough. No check necessary. Alec, you're strong. You can easily hoist her up. And Morganix, you climb up, and you see that this once used to be a 3-tiered tower. You're not exactly sure what its purpose was. Some of the heraldry that is in here is that bright blue and gold colors that were the same as the law bearers, those women that you had run into originally in the first stretch. It seems like this might have been a watchtower that was abandoned. But you also see two mildly decomposed bodies, and a piece of parchment next to them.
Alec, or not Alec, Sayla, there's bodies up here.
Joy. I'm gonna join her.
Okay.
Survey the area.
Just because we're gonna rest anyway, and I haven't used them today, I'm gonna put the glasses on and activate them for detect magic.
Okay, so you can see there is a... let me pull up the glasses real quick, just because, you know, I like to... Okay, yeah. So you can see that surrounding this circle, this, like, elevated platform, there is a slight haze of blue for abjuration magic. So there is some type of protective ward that was placed here, must have been a while ago. And
I will point that out and explain it to Sayla in case that might be where a trap is.
Nice. Should I try another perception to see if I can spot any kind of trap or...
Yeah, go ahead and make an investigation check is what it would be.
Investigation, okay. I'm just not good today.
So looking around the edge of that circle, you can see these very, very small runes that are sort of carved in along the stone. And as you sort of throw a couple of pebbles near them, they don't explode or anything like that. It just seems like there is something... there's some type of protective quality to them, and you're not exactly sure what it is, and you're not even sure if it still works anymore, but it's there.
I'm gonna relay anything that I have discovered to Morganics and be like, I don't know if we should stay here per se.
I will head out and tell the others there is bodies in here and the remains of some kind of protection magic. I don't know if we want to stay in here. Oh, is it safe for me to go grab that?
Maybe.
Are you
I
asking
asked
them?
Sayla.
Oh.
Sorry.
You're more versed with magic than I am. This isn't a kind of trap that I would know how to fix.
I'm gonna use the Hexblade to try to drag the parchment over to me.
Okay. So, you do, and you're able to sort of stick the top of the blade into the paper, creating a small hole, not ripping it or anything, but you drag it closer towards you. And you can see the parchment does have very harsh writing on it. It is in common, and this front side says, while Lydia and I loved living in All's Crossing, there are people who travel these roads that need help, but the horrors and terrible things that exist out here have us trapped in this tower. We've decided as to not give them more blood to shed, to take our own lives. Signed, Adrian and Lydia.
I read it out loud.
And sort of reading it, and then looking at the back side of it, there's a second note that says, I couldn't fucking do it. I'm such a fucking coward. I'm sorry. Signed, Adrian.
Wow.
Morganix reads that too, but she doesn't say fucking.
Did she say fudging?
She just omitted it.
Frickin'.
Yeah, I don't think we need to stay here. I vote we continue a little further and see if there's anywhere that seems a little less sketchy.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to get stuck here the way that they apparently were. What does everyone else think?
I think we need to get as much distance away from this place. I feel as though I've said this many times now. Seems we can't really get a moment to catch our breaths, but maybe if we get to All's Crossing sooner, we'll have a moment to really lick our wounds a little bit more. So
Let's be real, that's not gonna happen.
Maybe. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's that quick. Joe, during this, I'm going to pull out the alcohol pointing compass.
Yes.
Okay.
And just kind of see where that points me.
Okay, let me go ahead and double check something on my end.
while you're doing that, Joe, Alec is just gonna say, we do have to keep in mind that we no longer have a horse. So we will be taking most of the trip by foot. So it could also be more dangerous for us to be as wounded as we are and carrying on through the night. Just a thought.
It's a valid one.
We don't have to stay in the tower. There's plenty of forest area around that we could stay in.
That's true.
Joe, I wasn't there, but the way that they explained the protective rooms that are there, is it trying to protect the tower or a specific section of the tower?
It seems like it's trying to keep something out. Not necessarily keep something in or protect the tower, but just keep things from getting inside the tower.
Right, but she was able to kick the rock into the space without anything bad happening to
Yep.
it. But those bodies were inside the protective area or outside of the protective area?
They were inside the protective area.
Oh, well, that's not great.
I mean, the letter does
yeah.
lead on that it was a suicide, so...
Mm-hmm.
At least one of them was.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to distract from the alcohol compass.
Yeah. I will also say, on the subject of the bodies, they are, like I said, mildly decomposed, where one, a female, you can definitely tell that the throat is cut. But the other body of a man seems more gaunt and almost like it was starved. Very thinly stretched skin on the bones. But Cyrus, your compass, it'll point you to the nearest source of alcohol within a mile. So right now it is just kind of swirling in a circle, as it doesn't really have an idea of where to go yet.
That's not just pointing at Cyrus. Cyrus.
Well, it is the nearest tavern.
Ah.
So one day Cyrus will be his own traveling tavern when he gets moored in Canaan's magnificent mansion, but...
I just need to get a portal hole, or stick one in there.
But yeah. So what are you guys doing?
I say we make camp.
I'll be shouting out from and I'm trying to gather shit from the battered carriage and just say, I think we have to stay here.
Just stay away from the tower.
And we'll set up watch. 2 people per watch.
I can take a first watch.
Me as well, since I took a lot less than the rest of you.
Alec will nod and she will start setting camp because she needs to sleep. Or meditate. One of the two. Probably sleep after all that shit.
Okay. So all of you begin to set up camp, and easy enough, pitching the tents next to the tower. So who are the two watches? Who are the pairs?
Me and Cyrus, first watch.
Okay, Sayla and Cyrus, and then on the second watch?
I can
I'll,
do a second watch.
yeah, I'll go with Alec.
All right. Varnash, do you get the full 8 hours uninterrupted?
He took the... He did a lot of work.
Yeah.
Same breath.
We need his
deserves that
cells.
Alrighty. So, going into rest for the night. First up, we have Sayla and Cyrus. I would like both of you to make a perception check heading into your watch.
Oof.
Okay. So, Sayla, you can... You're not normally distracted, but you've been having a lot of conflicting feelings lately. And you end up just sort of consigning to yourself and just using your dagger to pick it underneath your fingernails. While Cyrus, you also have been feeling more chaotic lately, but with everything that's been happening, at least the chaos the past few times has been useful. But as soon as you start to have that thought, that finally this might be okay, that this is happening to me, you hear that, "Do not forget about me." As you turn around, you can see that fat fucking Kuatoa right next to your shoulder, just sort of slobbering this ghost ectoplasm onto your shoulder. I will never be rid of you, and you will never be rid of me. As that hissing, moaning sound just is persistent throughout the watch. So is there anything the two you're going to talk about, or is it just going to be a silent watch?
I think that depends on Cyrus and if he initiates to try and get away from slobber sounding dude.
I definitely would be, and I'd be drinking hard. The moment that like fucking Kuatoa appeared, I would be pulling out the sap wine and I'd be shotting it up.
You should probably save some for later.
What now?
Considering what you told us, you likely should save a little bit of that.
No, but my friend here, and I kind of point to like my empty shoulder and say, he simply will not shut the fuck up, and I do need a distraction right now. I'm terribly sorry. Believe me, I can keep my eyes open. I'm very aware. I've got this fuck making sure of that.
Friend, what are you talking about?
Him? He's fucking slobbering all over me. He's fucking vile.
Cyrus, there's nothing there.
oh, I wish that were the case.
Okay. What is it then? What do you see?
That fucking fish. That fish I fucking electrocuted. He will not leave me alone. Believe me, I know I'm dashing, but fuck off. Yes, you too.
Listen, I know I've heard of like warriors with issues after fighting. We might need to have you seen by some kind of doctor in the next town. She legit thinks he's crazy.
Excuse me. I am perfectly of sound mind. Tell her. And I just look to my shoulder.
Can
What
she
he
hear
said.
that? Can she hear that?
No, he's talking to air next to his shoulder.
Yeah, Okay.
Fancy a drink?
No, you're going fucking insane. One of us needs to stay sober.
Okay, and I'll pour one out on my shoulder and say that'll keep you quiet.
I'll never be quiet.
No, I can be fucking sure of that.
Yeah, she's gonna definitely be telling everybody about this in the morning because she is genuinely not okay with this situation.
Okay. So, with that, your watch comes eventually to an end, but before we swap from Sayla and Cyrus to Alec and Morganix. Morganix,
Uh-oh.
you head to sleep for the night, and the more and more you use that Hexblade, the more and more you go from feeling uncomfortable the moment you summon it, but in the moment it is so useful, and there's a small part of you that likes feeling that powerful. You don't like that you feel that way, but there's a small part of you that does. So, as you begin to dream, I am going to go ahead and whisper to you. So, if I'm correct, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Oh my god.
Nope. All right. Cool.
You can never escape Kayla.
Never, never, never. Okay, so as you retreat to sleep for the night, you close your eyes and you try and think of something peaceful. Something sweet and nice. The thought of Galadar, the thought of anything of your old life that used to mean something good. Because all you've been surrounded by recently is something terrible and always depressing and always making you angry. And in a moment you see a swelling of light, and you think for a moment, finally, he's come back to say something to me. Something. But as you sort of open your eyes and look, and you begin to listen, you hear people chattering, and you hear like orchestra music, people giggling and laughing, and as you open your eyes, you're in a masquerade ball. People wearing these different shaped masks, and all of this very nice furniture and chandeliers and painted walls laced with gold. And in a straight 20-foot walk from where you are, you see a woman with pale skin but tinged with purple, wearing the mask of a cat. She has a small wine glass in her hand as she slowly sips from it. Long locks of sort of platinum blonde hair and very long pointed ears at her side. So, that, and then I think if I show this, that should only pop up for you. You see her. She doesn't have a name yet, but you see her, and the two of you make eye contact, as you can see all of these people around you giggling and laughing at you, as you can tell that you are severely underdressed for this occasion, wearing your normal librarian garb. But she looks at you and says, "Don't laugh at her. All she needs is the right touch. And with the snap of her fingers, not even looking at you, you look down and you are wearing this sleek dress of blacks and purples. And you have a mask on your face now. Same one to match her. There you go, darling. That is much better. Come. Take a sit, why don't you? She sort of repositions on this, like, lounge, the chaise lounge chair, and sort of pats her hand next to where she was sitting.
I tentatively go sit next to her.
Good. And as you approach and sit down, she leans on the opposite side to give you a little bit more space. And she says, "So, darling, it's been a while, and we had made a deal, an agreement. I would let you ask me a question, and, well, frankly, darling, I have missed our talks so much, and it makes me feel like you don't appreciate me. And I appreciate you, darling, so I would like to know what's wrong."
I can't trust you. You made me one promise that you would never desert me in combat, and you did.
Darling, I knew you were safe. You were on the boat. You were making your way away. It's not my fault.
That doesn't matter. You broke the deal. If you can break that deal, you can break any promise you've made to me.
Very well. I understand the thought. How can I make it up to you? What would you like? As long as it is within my power, I'll give it to you to prove that I love you and I care about you.
Do you know about Galadon?
I know...
Galadar? Sorry.
I know vaguely of him, dear. What would you like to know?
Are you why he can't come to me anymore?
Sadly, my dear, I wish it were that simple. He is unbalanced, as it goes, and any diva or plaintar or angel who is unbalanced is not allowed to re-enter Celestia. Now, in terms of how he became unbalanced, I do not know. But when imbalance happens, he loses his powers and allegedly has to roam as a mortal, walking the streets like you and your friends.
Can he be restored?
If the imbalance is corrected, I see no problem with that, but then again, who am I? Right.
That is a very good question. Who are you?
You know, darling, in all honesty, I have a hard time remembering as well. You see, my memory and my existence, as it turns, is tied to that rod. And with each piece you find, it restores my memory and it restores my power. So, you see, all of this is of my own creation. Hundreds of floors of a mansion, a gala dedicated to me every night of the week, in my honor. And I was able to do this because of you. So, with each piece you find, more of me is restored, and the more powerful you become. So, darling, I have a gift for you, and I hope you'll look upon me more kindly now. Because, well, I know how much you like to use that blade. Well, how much you like to say you don't, but I know how it makes you really feel. I know what makes you tick, Morganix, and I don't blame you. And no one should blame you, because it does feel good. No better feeling. I shouldn't hog all this to my own. Please, take a sip. As she hands you the wine glass that is full of this. It's dark red, but it's almost on the point where whenever the light hits it, it almost like flickers between that burgundy and purple color. Take a sip.
I cautiously take the glass. You once promised me you wouldn't desert me for someone else just because they might be a better shot than I am. Do you still hold to that?
Darling, I will never leave you of my own choice. But my power is intoxicating to many. So you have to make sure I don't fall into the wrong hands. I am tied to this pommel and to this hilt. If someone else gets it, there's very little I can do. But as long as you hold me, I will do everything in my power to make sure it stays that way.
I'm going to tell the others about you. I see no other choice. But I drink.
Okay. And as you drink, you can feel that same purple cloud that is conjured from the blade. You can feel it begin to sort of envelop all of you. And as you slowly begin to fade away into sleep, you can hear her say one last thing. Darling, one more thing. Please tell them. They should know what you really are. And with that final exhale, you wake up as, in that moment,
I don't like that. But...
Alec is sort of knocking you awake.
Wait, Joe, stop.
Oh, Joe.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, fuck, okay.
Yeah, at that moment, as Alec is knocking you awake for your rest, or for your watch, Alec, you can kind of see that there is this, like, cool sweat over Morganix's brow, and as she, like, exhales, as she wakes up in sort of a start, you see this purple smoke just fade out.
Okay,
and dissipate.
Everyone bugged out for me for a second, so I missed everything after Alex shaking me awake.
So, as you awoke, there was this, like, purple smoke that sort of emerged from your mouth and then dissipated into the air as Alec shook you awake.
Damn Taco Bell.
Alec is just gonna blink a couple times, cock her head to the side, and just say, is everything okay?
I think so.
Joe, was she, like, restless before I woke her, or she was just snoozing?
It was odd, because she was just knocked out. She was cold, you know? And even physically cold to the touch, where there was, like, I mean, it's hot outside right now. Even at nighttime, it's maybe 90 degrees and super humid.
Mm-hmm.
But she was cold, but motionless.
Okay. Are you feeling alright?
Am I?
Yeah, you feel fine.
Yeah, I feel fine. I feel better. A little sore. I think that's to be expected.
Right. Okay. So just kind of brush that off and offer Morganix a hand up and get ready for the watch, I guess.
She will take it.
Whoa. Whoops.
Before Sayla goes to sleep, she's going to approach them and explain what happened with Cyrus.
Oh yeah, I am shit-faced drunk, by the way.
He's talking to himself, and he thinks something is the fish guy from before is, I guess, following him around. I'm a little bit concerned and disturbed by that, and it takes a lot to disturb me.
Did he hit his head in the battle?
I don't know.
Cyrus, are you all right?
Ah!
And Alec will like wave her hand in front of his face. Are you feeling well?
I feel fucking great, don't I? And I turn to my empty shoulder again.
You'll never be fine if I can stop it.
Oh, come now, don't be too harsh. A drink anymore?
I told you, he is,
I think he's just really drunk.
no, he wasn't drunk when he started that.
Can Alec like put her hand through the air where he was talking to on his shoulder?
Yeah, you do. And Alec, your hand just phases through, but Cyrus, you can see this sort of like distortion and swirling, like when you shine light through smoke and move your hand through it, where the face of it is dissipated for a moment, but then reforms and recreates that gelatinous figure that stood in front of you before.
Oh Christ, don't do that, you're making me dizzy. I mean, he's very ugly, but Christ, that's dizzying.
I think we should have someone check him over in the next town.
I'm telling you, I'm
I
completely
don't care
fine.
what you say. Your vote no longer matters at this point.
No. I'm a god. I created a bear today.
Alec is gonna like squat down and like look in his eyes to see if like I'm sure they're like, I don't know, fucking dilated beyond belief right now.
Oh yeah.
But she's just like looking in there trying to see if something is wrong. And after a few minutes of just staring at him, she's just gonna say, I think Sayla is right. When we get to the next town, we used to have people in my tribe who can fix minds, I guess. Those would be the words to put it in common.
I'm not broken.
Maybe there's, I mean, it's not broken, but
I disagree.
like a temple of some sort, you know?
Yeah, and if you can stop seeing that thing, wouldn't you want to?
Oh, he's not entirely malicious. And I turned my shoulders, I was thinking, oh, my sweet, sweet fish boy.
Do not sing to me. I will devour your soul.
He's very testy right now, my sweet boy.
I think you need to go to bed.
Yes, get some rest, Cyrus.
Other than that, our watch was average.
All three of us had a great time.
I really think you should get some sleep, and when we get to All's Crossing, maybe there is a shaman or whatever you pray to could help fix his mind. Alec doesn't know how to put words into words, but that's what she comes up with.
Let's hope it's fixable.
I'm just gonna crash.
Yeah. Sayla's gonna say her goodnights and go to sleep.
Okay. So, with that, I would like Cyrus, or no, Morganix and Alec to go ahead and make your 2 perception checks. Oop.
Vigilant.
I don't need to roll. Which is good.
Might as well have not. So, Morganix, Alex, before we get to you, Morganix, you're a little focused on something else. As you were just sort of sitting there, zoning out a little bit, you feel something in your pocket. And as you reach in and pull it out, there is this sort of petrified like cat's paw that is this sort of blackened gray color, but with these veins of this dark, dark purple in them. And as you look on it and channel it a moment, you now have access to a new cantrip.
I see it.
Mm-hmm. Do you get through it? That's a monkey's paw. Yeah. So yeah.
I just tuck it back into my pocket.
Okay. And then if you want, I can clarify that if something doesn't make sense in there.
Looks good to me.
Okay, cool. So with that, as Morganix is, Alec, you can see, especially with that, you can see her pull out that petrified cat's paw and then sort of tuck it in her pocket. And as you look back at Morganix, it's odd. You're so used to seeing that sort of very bright and colorful, very saturated blue eyes. But they're purple now.
Organics, I don't mean to be rude, but did you just change your eyesight through sleep? Is that a thing that you can do?
What are you talking about?
You know, your eyes, they are purple now.
I just kind of look at her like I'm trying to figure out if she's joking or not.
Fam, she's like stone face.
I am gonna take I have like a small knife in my bag. I'm going to, oh, not in my bag anymore, in my hobo sack. I'm gonna take it out and try to use it as a mirror.
Okay, yeah, you have to kind of spit shine it a little bit and rub it, but eventually it gets clear enough where you can just barely see in the reflection of each one of your eyes. They are dark purple.
Is there something you want to talk about?
I did not consent to this. And I'm looking like just really irritated about it.
Did this happen when I was knocked out?
No, but I think I know how it happened. We all have to have a talk in the morning. I wanted to have it back at the inn, but things kept happening. And then there were gnolls.
Are you okay?
In some ways, yes, but there is a greater problem. There's a lot we need to talk about. But I think we should wait for the whole group.
She kind of looks at you carefully, not like in a rude or like suspicious way. She's just kind of like trying to gauge what is going on and read your body language.
I don't mean any harm. I haven't suddenly become dangerous to you overnight. I don't want to hurt any of you, even Sayla. I owe Sayla a great deal. But we have to have a talk.
Right. I will respect your wish and wait till the morning. But if you need something, do let me know.
Thank you.
She'll just kind of like reach over and put her hand on your shoulder.
You've been very kind to me. Maybe I should have told you all sooner.
We all have secrets. And you are entitled to them. She'll just smile at you.
She'll smile back.
And I guess Alec will just wait. Fulfill her watch and wait till morning.
Alrighty. So you continue with your watch, and Alec, maybe about 2 hours before it's over, right before the sun is about to rise, you can hear large footfalls. And peering through the forest, you can see that maybe 15, 20 feet away is that owlbear. Just kind of slowly. This large creature kind of slowly making its way towards your tent. Where you and
Oh, it
Morgana
sees
come.
us?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's just slowly. And kind of stops maybe 10 feet away.
Alec will just... She's not reaching for her blade, but she will just kind of stand and... squatting down, offer... You know, like how you want dogs to smell your hand? Before they meet you, she will offer her hand to be smelled.
Smell my palm. All right, so you reach your hand out, and I'd like you to make an animal handling check. With advantage, funnily enough.
Hell yeah. Oops, sorry.
Okay, so we'll take that 15. That's only fair.
Okay.
I was thinking
Oh,
that too.
hell yes.
So you reach your hand out, and you can feel that small beak at the front of its mouth kind of like nibble into your palm a little bit. And you do take a point of piercing damage.
Ah, worth it though.
But as you can see it like nibbles in there and pulls back with a little bit of that blood on its beak. It cocks its head at you and just sort of plops down, looking at you.
Organics will do the same thing Alec did.
Okay. And seeing the general feel of the people here, the owlbear does the same to you, where they take just a little nibble for just 1 point of piercing damage, and then sit back down, and they look at you for a moment, cock their
I think
head.
under her breath, Alec will be like, he really did bring an owlbear here. Like, not believing it at first.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Can I try to pet the owl bear?
Make an animal handling check with advantage. You've bonded with it a little bit, so let's see if it's still a wild animal.
Woo!
All right, so yeah, you kind of reach behind the ear, and there's a moment where it's like a little apprehensive and snaps a little bit, but instead of reaching back, doing a super quick motion to set it off, you steady your breathing, and you continue to reach behind its ear, and you just scratch. And it sort of leans into it a little bit, and then sort of inches away from your hand a little bit, and looks at you.
Oh, you're just a big cuddle bear.
Well, perhaps it can help aid in our watch. It doesn't seem to be angered in the moment or hostile.
I wonder if it lived somewhere else and got summoned here, or if Cyrus actually created it.
That's a good question. He seems to be capable of a lot more than I thought possible.
I'm a little jealous of him sometimes.
Yeah. I agree. And she'll just kind of like also pet the owlbear.
It does the same, where it, now that it's a little more used to it, it does let you, but then it sort of inches away, as it's not sure if it's something that it's okay with yet. So, the two of you spending time with the owlbear, eventually Cyrus, Selah, and Varnast, you wake up as the sun begins to rise, and you can see an owlbear sitting in front of all of you, peacefully looking towards you. And with that, we'll go ahead and take a break, 5-10 minutes, and we'll be back to to travel.
Little baby.
All right.
All right. Yes, I'm going to go ahead and... Recording. Okay. Recording resumed.
Nice.
Welcome back. So, picking up from there,
Here I am to ruin everything.
no, you're good. You're good. Oh, jeez. Sorry, I just want to make sure.
You don't have to answer it right now. I'm just saying.
Okay. To answer your question, I just found more accurate art, so
Okay.
it still is like that.
Okay.
But just everything else about that art is more accurate to what she actually looks like.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So, diving back in, all of you just having had this terrible encounter with the warlock where where some of you were knocked unconscious, luckily brought back, and luckily all of you, except for Francois, made it out alive. Now...
Pour one out for our buddy.
F's in the chat. All of you settled on resting outside of the... outside of the tower, as not really sure what was going on inside the tower. You...
I'm sorry, I'm gonna mute myself.
We're all about to get kicked out.
Listen, I don't have anything against you as a person. I just don't think the playstyle's match.
Hey, man.
Okay, I'm just kidding. So,
I'd try.
deciding to rest outside of the tower, some of you had as restful sleep as you could get. Others of you had a more tumultuous sleep. And some of you had very inconvenient message through dreams that makes life incredibly more difficult. However, nonetheless, all of you wake up to see Morganix and Alec face to face with a rather tame and peaceful owlbear.
Oh my... Oh, Shh, is that Bernard? Bernard, you came?
Cyrus,
We've been
you
petting
weren't
him.
lying. Yeah.
No, this is my beautiful Bernard. And I kind of approach very slowly and like kind of bow my head.
Okay. So, given the fact that it's been exposed to two of these people, it kind of bows its head back to you, and then will kind of like nibble on your shoulder a little bit, and just kind of cut for 1 piercing damage.
Yep. Ooh, there's a good boy. You took out that warlock for me, didn't you? And I kind of like rummage through my pack and get out some rations.
Okay. Pop a few at it.
Now, between us, I don't know where I pulled Bernard from. Yeah, I'm very happy he's here. I kind of just look down at this owlbear and I'm like, yes.
Well, maybe he could. I assume he can only go so far with us. Unfortunately, I don't think people would be too keen on seeing an owlbear in any cities.
No, I don't think that's... Yes, I don't think that's wise. Varnas, sailor, please, come meet Bernard.
Yeah, no. I'll stick with my little fox weasel. I like animals, but he's a bit too big and a little bit too wild for me.
As your
Bernard's
fox weasel
not...
nuzzles into your neck.
Mornas strides right up to that owlbear.
As you do, you walk a little faster, and it sort of brings its head up into the side, sort of looking down at you. But as you slow down and approach it, it does the same thing where it sort of nibbles in your hand or your shoulder or whatever part you present to it, dealing 1 piercing damage. But then seems to be fairly neutral around the 5 of you. It's a little more cautious around Sayla, but who isn't?
Fair enough.
Same.
I think Alec is also kind of eyeing Morganix at this point. She doesn't want to like call her out, but she also is concerned, so she's just kind of shooting you a look.
Well, we should probably make tracks. No point in hanging around here if we're all good to go.
I think we need to have a talk first. There's some things I've been wanting to tell you all, and we've always just had something more pressing, but now I think this is pressing.
Very well.
Yes, by all means.
The weapon that I have houses my patron. I found it in a sort of tomb in the woods.
So does this have to do with the godling thing?
No. No, I still don't like that. I found it, and I point at Sinver and I said, and the ones he's talking about, they showed up, and they were going to kill me and take it. And all of a sudden, I'd only found a hilt. Just a hilt. And I was holding it, and all of a sudden, I heard a voice, and it said it could save me. And it offered me a deal. And I honestly don't remember the exact terms of this arrangement, because I'm a librarian. This isn't my world. None of this. I never wanted any of this. I would have been perfectly happy in the library for the rest of my life. But I was gonna die, so I took it. And the next thing I knew, I was away. But I was worried. The 3 people that came upon me in the tomb, any one of them would have been the scariest person I've ever seen in my life on their own. And the 3 of them together, I think I've blocked a lot of it out just because I couldn't handle it. But I thought maybe they were very clearly looking for it somehow. They knew it was there, which makes me think they were tracking it somehow. So I left, and I thought I would put as much distance between myself and my home as possible, and it would keep my family safe. And now they're here. So I think there's a big target on my back. And what he said is true. I think they're going to keep coming after me. And I don't want them to have it. I think it would be very bad for them to have it.
I'm assuming simply getting rid of it's not an option.
No. It's sentient. It talks to me. It shows me things. It gave me all of my powers, and it keeps giving me more. And yeah.
I was just going to say, Joe, have I noticed if her eyes have changed?
Oh yeah, at this point, as the attention is really on her, all of you can see now that those once very saturated bright blue eyes are now a dark purple color, even a bit darker than Cyrus's skin. matching that same color of her blade that she conjures.
Did it ever occur to you it might be a demon?
Yes, actually, and I sort of presented a plan for that. I figured the first step was getting away from all the people I loved and cared about. And the second was to try to determine its nature, and it's bound to me. It's bound to whoever has it. So, if I decided it was bad, I was going to throw myself off the ship or maybe find a volcano.
Drastic.
But effective.
Oh, fuck. I mean, would shit, and I'm just kind of like, wait.
Morganics, my people have a saying, and it roughly translate that we don't live by having regrets, and everything happens for a reason, right? You have this weapon for a reason. Perhaps you don't know what that reason is yet, but it's safer in your hands. And if it is containing some type of spirit, it may not be as simple as destroying it or destroying you. So instead, this curse could be a blessing, and you could use it for such.
That's kind of... I don't want to use it to do anything bad. And I have a strong idea of right and wrong, and I figure it's better in my hands than in some unknown entity. But I don't know either way, really. It has encouraged me in battle to kill, and I have refused.
Well, that's unfortunate. We could have used some kills in certain situations.
I'm not going to let her change me.
Has this being mentioned any of us?
I told her last night that I was going to tell you all about her, and she said that I should. I think she sees everything we see. I think she's just kind of present around me.
Hello! And I kind of wave just to nowhere.
Darling, you can tell him I find him quite attractive. Purple is a nice shade.
Morganic's face just flushes red. She's a fan?
I'd be worried if she wasn't.
Morganix actually laughs a little.
Well, this is good, right? We are fans of one another.
That Advent is still going to be looking for me, though. And part of me has considered taking Sinver up on the deal.
And you just give yourself over? Is that what you're saying?
No. The one he offered in the inn for information if we let him free. But I wouldn't do that without you guys.
I think Alec at that moment would look at Sayla.
I'm not the biggest fan of letting him go, just... He knows too much. You guys know how I feel when people know too much.
I do, unfortunately. It's just... Well, that brings us to the other issue. There's a target on my back. These people are always going to be coming after me, and they're terrifying.
Then you kill them. And she just says that with a blank face.
Do you still want me around?
Yes, and we will help you kill them.
I mean, fate and chaos clearly has brought us together for fucking some reason, and it's worked out so far. I mean, we're alive. I mean, I'm fucking older somehow, but we're alive. Although I must say the grey is looking rather good.
It does. You look very distinguished.
But we by some thread of fucking chaos we are bound, and if you require assistance, I will help.
I will too.
I don't usually get a vote, so I'm not gonna say shit.
Cyrus starts pissing himself laughing.
Morganix is actually going to get a little teary-eyed and just kind of busy herself with petting the owlbear.
Well, I think that if we encounter Advan or any of his people, we know how to handle them, and if you decide that Sinver should be set free, he doesn't have teeth left. I could take his tongue too, and then he won't talk. Again, just like blank face.
No, that seems
Like a wonderful idea.
cruel, I was going to say.
No, it's fine. I mean, I could heat a dagger. We can cauterize the wound. He'd survive.
You could still eat.
I mean, he can have soup.
No, he could still. Well, maybe he could still write.
I
And
mean,
I just kind of look over at him and like try to figure out if he knows how to write and read, but not wanting to be a bitch about it.
are you? Cyrus completely misunderstanding the point. Are you suggesting we take his hands?
It would solve the problem.
I believe in justice, and I initially believed that turning him to justice was the right thing to do. I'm just saying I'd be lying if I wasn't tempted for more information about this terrifying creature that is haunting my nightmares.
I have an idea, and I'll
Oh,
go
God.
to I'll go to Sinver. I'll take the gag out of his mouth, and I'll whistle and say, "Bernard."
Oh, no, please, don't,
Now.
please, please.
Now no. Shh. Bernard loves us very dearly. Now, Sinver, you're going to help Morganix here. I'll be honest, I couldn't give a fuck about the bounty. But now, you must know, this beautiful creature, I made him. Now, if you don't think I can fucking find you and hear what you do, you will be sorely mistaken. Isn't that right, Bernard? And I'll pet the owlbear.
The owlbear, not really having a good idea of what to do, but definitely not liking the general feel of this person in front, just does that like very low growly, that and Sinver, okay, fuck, I thought we already had this settled. I know you fucking kill me if you want to. I know, okay.
I'm making sure you know, my dear boy.
I know, believe me, I know. Okay?
Listen, if this is what you want, Morganix, I mean, frankly, the bounty's not very much.
It's not.
Does that
Morganix.
offend you or something? Oh, sorry.
Oh, no, I was just going to say Morganix will look over at Sayla.
Oh, y'all know what I would do. I don't know why you're even looking at me.
I mean, it does make me a little sad. I've been doing this a long time, and the fact that the bounty's not a lot, I don't really like that at all. But then again, for a fucking shitty person, so I might as well be a shitty bandit.
You truly cannot help yourself, can you?
Pathetic.
I mean, Christ! I mean, take a note from my page. Learn to roll some fucking dice or cards. Jesus Christ!
Well, what
We
do you,
don't need to torment him.
what do you want from me? I've told you everything that I know.
Have you? Because you said that there was more information you could give us if we freed you.
This is your moment, Sinver, and and Bernard's.
All right. Okay. I said that the lady and Advan and the big man were headed to New Efera.
Yes, we know about the ox and the silence. Yes.
Yes, they were hired by somebody. I can't remember the name of who they were hired by, but they were hired by somebody to find fuck. Advan told me, but I wasn't listening that well. Oh, fuck. A woman, who knew a lot about Efera, who knew a lot about the wilderness of Efera. A dwarvish woman. She's a native who has a shop, and she they were looking for something. They were looking for they were told to look for a place. Look for a place of some kind.
I mean, a place doesn't particularly narrow it down, darling.
Joe, question.
Yeah.
Is this the same woman that we're supposed to go talk to in Efera? New Efera?
The description matches a dwarvish woman who was a native who owns a shop in Efera. I mean, there could be more
can
than
you
one.
remind me what her name was?
Therilyn, but most people call her Lynn.
Okay. That was the name of the woman that Duncan gave us.
Yeah.
Carolyn, I said?
Yeah.
Okay, at that Alec will say, is it Farrellyn? Is this the name of the woman?
I think so.
Farrellyn.
Therilyn? Fuck, this is hard attack teeth. Fuck.
Lynn?
Lynn, yeah, I think it's Lynn. I think Lynn is the one.
She hired you, or the ox, the silence, and to find organics.
Well, yeah, the Advan, the leader, he wanted us to keep an eye out for anyone who matched the description. And, well, as you already know, we made a mistake and took the wrong person. It wasn't my fault. I know what the fuck a godling looks like. I don't know. It was... Oh...
I'm like smirking at Sailor this entire time.
Yeah, she's glaring at you for smirking at her.
And, but we were on the lookout for her,
Pointing towards Morganix.
but the Ox and the Silent and Advan, they had to sort of, I guess they put their own personal machine on the side because of how much the other people were paying. Oh, please. I'm telling you everything I know.
I mean, I say we let him go. I'll be honest. I've grown bored of his company. He's not very fun.
You guys know my vote, she continues to play with her dagger and clean her nails.
Can I roll an insight to see how truthful he's been being?
I was just gonna say that.
Yeah, the two of you can go ahead and make an insight check.
And can I add guidance? Because I wrote that I cast it on myself, like, while he was talking.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice, 20.
Nice, dirty 20. Okay.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. So, Morganix, you think that you've pretty much wrung this towel dry. I mean, you're pretty confident that there is nothing else there. Varnast, however, there is one bug left, but he is holding it close.
And he's a halfling or like a gnome?
He's a halfling, yeah.
Something about how much do you think he would weigh, roughly?
He's definitely, well, he's at least a full set of teeth lighter, so I'd probably say maybe 40 or 50 pounds.
Alright, Varnast is going to walk over to him, and then he's going to look to the group and kind of motion. May I?
By
Oh,
all means.
please.
Nah, very kind of you. And Varnast, like, grabs him and just, like, slams him against the wall, like, holding him up to where his feet isn't even touching the ground. For someone that wants to make it out of this, you're playing this really bad.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, yes, you do. Now, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way, and believe me, I don't care. As long as it's taken me to break someone to 6 hours, and you certainly don't look like you're going to set a record.
I'd like you to make an intimidation check with advantage. Holy fuck, yeah.
Set to advantage? I've never done that before yet. Yay! Fuck!
You know what?
And he looks at you, just sort of tears streaming down his face and no teeth left in his mouth.
No matter what you do to me, it will be nowhere near as bad as what he'll do to me. So fucking do whatever you want. I promise you I'm not going down that road. Never.
Can I test that theory?
Do whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not saying that. Never.
Varnast, pull his fucking pants down.
Whoa.
Wait. No.
Nope.
She's still got her knife out. She's walking towards him.
Wait.
But nope. I cannot witness this.
You're welcome to leave the room.
I am doing, but Bernard, dear.
Okay.
Why? I think he's told us everything.
No,
What?
he hasn't. He knows what he's holding back.
Then
So-
tell us, and you can leave.
Like I said, no matter what's gonna happen to me now, it's not gonna be a sliver as bad as what he'll do to me.
And that's why you're not going to go tell him about us. But if you don't tell us what we want to know, my friends might cut out your tongue, or maybe worse.
Oh, worse.
I don't care what
So
Adban will
much
do to me.
worse.
So what if Adban brands me time after time? I'm used to it. There are things much worse and much darker than any of you know about. You want to
Have
know
you
what?
ever seen that thing before that we were fighting yesterday?
I didn't know that him, but I've seen Korvac before.
Who is that? What is Korvac? Tell us.
He's a monstrosity. I've seen him rip men in half. He dug his claws into their skull and tore them in half.
What is he? Where is he?
He's a gnoll, but he's unlike any gnoll I've ever seen before. He has a gemstone eye that he can... I've seen him disintegrate someone with it before. They just turned to ash after he looked at them.
And where is he? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
And Advan works for this creature?
Advan's made deals with him. Advan wants gold from the travelers, and Korvac, his master, and that warlock, they just want chaos. That's all they want. So you might as well kill me now. Because I would rather die here than be tortured for days by that monstrosity.
So I feel like he's still holding back something.
Yeah, it seems like there is one thing.
I kind of look to the group, and I'm like, can I make a decision here?
Alec will just look to Morganix at this point. This is your call.
It seems cruel.
It's necessary. You don't have to be a part of it if you don't want to. You can walk away.
I'm gonna take one really long, hard look at Sinver. And then I guess I'm going to slowly start walking away. But I don't feel good about it.
Okay.
And does Alex stay?
Alec will stay.
You sure you want to be here for this?
Need some help?
I'll stay.
All right. So Varnas like drops him, and like the moment he hits the ground, he just steps on his chest, and he leans down, putting more of his weight into that foot.
As he's like gasping for air, unable to breathe, as you're just kind of crushing his lungs.
All right, friend. I'm afraid this is your last chance. I'm not gonna lie to you. You're not leaving here. And I don't know what this guy is gonna do to you, but you have a decision to make. You can rat him out for the evil scum that he is and whatever you're hiding from him. And if you do that, we'll make this quick. If you don't, we will make these next 10 minutes last a lifetime. Your call.
Make one more intimidation check.
Normal?
Yeah, normal. Not with advantage this time.
Ugh. God damn it.
He's holding on, man.
He just, and it's nothing against what you said. It is just that he, no matter, he says,
I said it before, I'll say it again. No matter what you do, it's not near as bad as what Korvac will do to me, and in turn, what he'll do to you. So
Fair
do
enough.
whatever you want. I don't
Just
care.
remember, this was your decision. I look over to Sayla. Go do it.
and
Alright.
the two of you, no need to get too descriptive.
I was about to say, we can skip this.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could totally just time
Cut
skip
to
this.
black.
We can black screen this.
Yeah, fade to black as you brutalize and make him feel pain. He screams, and they are screams, Morganix, that no matter how much you think he deserved it, you know they will haunt you. And Cyrus, although he was a shit, some of those screams, They don't feel good.
Depending on how long it goes on, she might run back and try to stop it.
It just depends. Varn asked Alec and Sayla.
Alec walked away before they started to go check on Morgonix.
Okay.
What do you think, Sailor? Like 10 minutes?
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah, like 10 minutes.
I don't think she'd last that long.
I think Alec, like I said, as soon as they started, Alec would have walked away and like held on to Morgonix to make
That
sure she
checks out.
doesn't go over there.
Okay.
I've got to stop this. This is wrong.
She's just gonna like wrap her arms around you in like a bear hug. Some people deserve to die. You have to learn this.
Not like this, they don't.
Joe, I'm going to cast a minor illusion. And I'm just going to literally play music to my own ears.
Okay.
To just round that shit out.
And the worst part is, you do drown it out, but every once in a while when there is a sort of piano or mezzo piano in a part of the song, you can just barely hear it. That blood-curdling scream. And you try and make it louder and louder and louder until your eardrums are throbbing. But eventually, after about 10 minutes, there's one last blood-curdling scream for help.
Morgonix will fight really hard to get free.
Yeah, Alec
And-
ain't letting go.
Morganix, I'd like you to roll a d20 for me.
Oh, Jeebus. Just a straight d20?
Boom.
Ooh, girl.
Oh!
Okay. You still feel remorse, no matter how terrible of a person he was. You feel bad.
Yep. Sure do.
Alec will do her best to comfort, but it's hard for her to be, I guess, comforting.
Morgonix is probably crying.
Alrighty. So, with that, Varnast and Sayla, you move away from your handiwork back towards the cart and the burnt Francois. What are all of you doing?
Did you set him free?
No.
Oh.
We need to go. We need to leave this place and move on.
Yeah.
I don't think that Bernard is capable of. I don't know if he's tame enough to take the card. So Alec is gonna like, can she strongman style this cart?
With no one on it, yes.
Alec, I don't know that it's worth it. You might exhaust yourself.
Is there anything in the cart that we
The
can't carry
dresses?
on her?
Yeah, there is. Hold on, let me pull up the cart here. There are things on the cart. There is the 4 vials of perfume, the wind chime, the feather dagger sheaths, the ceramic vase, and the 11 designer dresses.
Joe, would it like? How hard would this be for her to do? If no one was writing in it.
If no one was writing in it, I mean, it would be pushing it, and you know, she would be fairly exhausted. But luckily, you guys are only about 10, 12 hours away from All's Crossing. Because of your 16-hour shift that you put in right afterwards, you're pretty close.
Alright.
It would
then
just-
she'll go over and she'll just lift it anyway, and she'll just look at Morgonix and she'll just say, I can do this. I think we are close, and if we need these supplies, then we'll get them there. She'll just wrap her both arms around it where like the horse harness would be and just
Holy
haul
shit.
it up.
Yeah, and she Jean Valjean's it right up, straps it around, and she's just able. Alec, it is tough, but a combination of pulling, and every once in a while somebody will get in the back and push behind you just to lighten the load a little bit.
Oh god, yes.
Yeah. But eventually, you all begin to make your way down the road. And it is disturbingly quiet as you are waiting for something, anything. I mean, you halfway through your journey, you were attacked by almost a horde of gnolls and that warlock, and you're just waiting for something. But nothing comes. For the most part, there are no other carts that pass you either way. And for this 10 hours of the journey, Alec, of you pulling the cart and the rest of you every once in a while taking shifts to push, walking alongside with Bernard, there is nobody who passes you. You are alone on this road. And it just keeps clicking along the track.
Are there animals around? Just like any wildlife?
I mean, in the slumbering jungle, there normally isn't. There's not really animals. I mean, you can hear bugs chirping everyone, or bugs chittering, or things like that. But really, there's no big animals. There's not really any birds or anything. It's mostly just bugs and crickets, cicadas.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So, is it...
Varnat...
I was just going to say, is it a silent ride, or is anybody speaking?
Varnas is going to try and approach Morgonix while we're walking.
Okay.
And see if she's receptive or if she moves away from him or anything like that.
She doesn't.
How are you holding up?
I don't think I will ever be comfortable with that kind of thing. And I don't think I want to be.
Nor would I ask you to be. But you are going to have to acknowledge that you and your company walks a very difficult path. And I'm sure that there are more and more unseen enemies that you have than even we realize.
I'm beginning to understand that.
I have been asked by the gods, tasked even, to help you four in some way. So I will fight, I will protect you, and I will lay down my life before I let any of you fall.
Who is your god?
Should have this memorized, but give me a second. And apologies if I butcher the pronunciation, I worship Stygia and Acadia, gods of water and air.
And I know those are native gods to this place, right?
Yeah, I mean, they're the old gods, so they're the primordial embodiments of nature. So they're not exclusive to Efera. There are many cultures around the world who observe the primordial titans.
So I wouldn't think it's that weird.
No, I mean, not very many people in Averion did. But you do know that just north of Averion, in the Western Salamander, it was more popular there to worship the old gods as opposed to the prime deities.
Okay. She doesn't really know what to say, so she just kind of nods.
So, because of my task, I will do whatever it takes to make sure that you and your group are protected and safe. I'm not going to ask that you like it. I'm not going to ask that you change who you are. But I would warn you that there are going to be harder decisions moving forward.
Yeah, I'm sure you're right. And I will probably oppose many of them. And I'll kind of look at Sayla out of the corner of my eye.
Notices you looking and is like, what? Did I miss something?
No, just talking.
And then you side-eye me? That's comforting.
I was just saying that we've had ethical disagreements in the past, but we can still work with each other.
It took you blasting me in the face, but yeah.
I was very angry.
Doesn't
And
change what you did.
I apologized. I still don't forgive it, but it was wrong, and I did say I was sorry.
I take it that you're very upset with what just happened. Judging by the silence, I'd say others aren't very happy either.
I don't think I can ever be comfortable with that sort of thing. And I regret it. I wish I hadn't said anything. At least if we had taken him to justice, it would have been quick.
It would have been quick had he just spoke. He chose that. That was his fault.
She's not wrong.
Morganix, my people do not normally, just like struggling to find the words. We are not savage people.
I never
But
said.
Sometimes we have to do things that look as though they are savage. And I have quickly learned that this world is full of savage things, and sometimes these things are necessary, sometimes they're not, but we cannot change the past. It has happened. You will learn from this, you will grow from it, and you will form your own decisions based on how you feel about the situation. But I warn you that this will probably not be the last time you encounter anything like this, whether it is at our hands or someone else's.
I can guarantee that just from experience.
I know.
You can't be guilty for what other people do or choose. As I said, he chose to make it painful and long. Had he just spoke, it would have been quick.
Had I just spoke, I could have convinced you to let him go.
Do you really think that?
Yes.
I think you don't know me very well.
Oh, I think I know you better than you want me to.
But I
You were
think
only...
that, and she looks between the two of them, it is in the past and it cannot be changed. We must move forward.
Morganix will just kind of sigh and nod.
If you are too busy looking behind you, you will not see what's in front of you.
Seen many a people fall because of that. Mostly to her blade, but she's not going to say that.
How far are we, Joe, from like our destination? You think?
I'd probably say about this time, maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Since Cyrus has been so quiet through the whole conversation, Sayla's going to glance over at him and kind of give him a questioning look, like, does he want to add to any of that?
Sorry? I'm sorry, I've got the most fabulous concerto going on right now. It's magical.
Right. Your head needs looked at.
What?
You're talking to things that aren't there, and now you're hearing music. Yeah, definitely gonna be getting you looked at.
No. I'll kind of increase the volume of my minor illusion.
Oh. Are you feeling all right otherwise?
And I just laugh and just leave it there.
Is something wrong with Cyrus?
Oh, you were asleep all night. He's been, hearing things and, yeah. He's convinced that the fishman he fried is still around.
He is around. Is he there right now, Joe?
Yes.
He's around. He's not a fan of you talking about him like that. Are you, fishy boy?
Joe, being
Yeah, let's, make haste for the town, because he definitely needs looked at.
I honestly, it's wild to me that none of you can see this.
Joe, like being a cleric, would I recognize this for what it is? Like, would the symptoms seem familiar?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like a curse of some kind.
Yeah. Cyrus, this fishman you killed, how exactly did you kill him?
Oh my god! Sorry.
Oh,
I'm just pretending that's Nicola in the background.
I struck him with a bolt of lightning and turned him to ash.
I think he may be, like, truly haunting you, as in I think he cursed you as he died.
You wouldn't do that, would you? And I looked much older again.
Of course I would, you disgusting meat sack.
Turns out that maybe what's happening, he's not particularly happy with me right now. Maybe partly to do with the lightning.
Probably.
So he's not going insane?
Well,
I mean, I wouldn't be so hasty.
the curse could be driving him insane. This might just be a symptom of a larger problem.
Cool.
I unfortunately lack the power to remove such a thing, but we might be able to find someone in the nearest town who is capable. I will keep praying and see if maybe I can get some help on this matter. If not,
Okay.
And I kind of go back to just nodding my head and humming along to my own music.
Alrighty. So, all of you continue on your journey until eventually, as the sun begins to set and darkness begins to envelop the forest, you can see just barely a wooden wall. The road begins to narrow and head up a cliffside, very similar to the colorful cauldron, but there is there's a wall, and you can see like a wooden gate almost, and right next to the gate there is a wooden tower that is built maybe 12 to 15 feet high, and you can hear a voice say, "Who goes? Wait a minute. Is that? Open the gate! Open the gate! Open the gate!" And there is a small bit of rushing and creaking of wood, and you see the gate open as the five of you and your owlbear approach, and standing in front of the gate is the one, the only, fairly emotionless dwarf companion, Gray, in his green cloak with his red beard. He stands there looking upon you happily. He sees the owlbear and he goes, I have questions about this, but we can ask them later.
Oh, yes. Bernard should not be coming into the town.
No. Bernard, is that the name he gave you, or is that the name you gave him?
I don't know.
Bernard is fine for now. Mother Watana will have answers for what the bear's name is, if it really does matter to you. Please. Come in. It is dangerous to be on the roads. At night especially, but even more so in the past week. Come. And as you enter, you see a small city that is very interesting in its construction, where, Alec, half of these buildings are constructed similar to your people's buildings, made of thatch and specific barks from specific trees, but they're hybrid, where the rest of you would recognize architecture styles of your native countries, either that of Tarkir or Averion, or even some of Calderaz and the Western Salamander, where they're all just kind of homogenized and combined. So, you there. And you can see immediately as you enter the city, you kind of pull the cart off to the side. You can see that there are currently buildings still being constructed. You can hear the slight chirp of birds, and it seems like maybe in this town there are some semblance of animals as you can finally start to hear them. You can see people chattering and talking, and Alec, you see people who look like you, natives to Efera, having peaceful, mild conversation with people who look like Morganics or Selah or Varnast, living together peacefully without any issue at all. Gray.
I think, this is probably the first time that she has like a smile on her face. I mean, she's confused, but it's like a small smile. Sorry, go ahead.
It's okay. So as all of you enter, Gray sort of helps you push the cart off to the side, and he says, "We will leave that there for now. We will come back later, and I presume your horse has died. I do not think that you would carry it by your own will for fun."
No, not for fun.
We were hoping maybe to purchase a new one along the way. I told her not to pull the cart, but she's very strong and very stubborn.
Yes.
I kind of smile a little at her.
There
She'll
are
smile back.
many who are strong and stubborn. It is not a bad thing. It is a good thing to have in a companion. You know that they will never leave your side, stubborn as they may be. Oh, before you are, I take you to, the inn we have just down the road. And I'll go ahead and move you guys to the map now of the colorful, or of All's Crossing. Before I head there, the head of my order knew that there was a group of people who were the ones who helped me save Juniper, and she wanted to give you a reward for your good deeds and, well, your services rendered. It is a large building right over there, and as all of you are right about here by these bushes of, like, sunflowers and lavenders, it's building number 3, the Wayfinder's Hearth. We will head in there. The leader of the Wayfinders, Mila is her name. She will give you a reward for the kindness that you have done, even if it was not purely out of good intentions, but we don't need to let her know that. Actually,
well, we would have, certainly. It's just our goals aligned.
I apologize, but I believe that one of the people is different. This man here. I'm sorry, I did not mean to be rude, as most would consider. but I am so used to them being all the same as when I had last seen them.
Gray,
Fine,
this is Varnest. Varnest, this is Gray.
Pleasure.
'Tis nice to meet you. And he just kind of bows his head, this like longbow in his other hand.
Cornet gives the bro nod.
Very good, very good. He, yes, are you... So he is friendly then, correct?
Yes.
Good. Well, I didn't specify who was who, so I suppose that, you will just have to pretend that you were a part of them when that happened. I am not exactly comfortable with dishonesty, but I know others are more.
I can stay outside. It's fine.
You are welcome in the Wayfinder's Hearth. Do not feel like you have to stay outside.
We did have Al with us, and he, his mother came to collect him.
Yes, I remember now.
Oh, yeah.
It was rather humorous, really.
I'm sure that it was. Well, please, Mila will be excited to see you. And he sort of leads you around the path to several large lavender bushes that lead to this small dirt path that eventually leads to that large building number 3, which has this very large chimney on one side and is a 2-story building. And as he opens it, you can hear people laughing and joking. A few people, they say, Gray, please come have a drink with us. And he says, no, I must take these ones to Mila. These were the ones who helped me rescue Juniper. And they're these like collection of people in similarly cloaked greens and browns. They sort of look at you and they give you a nod. And the same thing that Alec does where she puts her hand on her chest and nods, they do that to you in almost like a salute for your good deeds. And he says, ignore them. They are slightly rude. They haven't yet understood how to properly do the salute. Please, follow me upstairs. And people, as you're walking by, word kind of spreads fast as people are whispering, oh, those are the ones who helped Juniper. And then more people are talking about how, Gray told them about your fight and you saving the chubby merchant. Nobody knows his name, but they just keep calling him the chubby merchant. And at this point, Bernard has stayed by the cart. But Gray said, do not worry. No one will try to steal him or take him. He is fine here. He will be safe. All of the Mother's creatures are safe here.
I would love to see someone try and steal him.
Yes, even if they did, they would be mauled. And as you make your way up the sort of winding staircase to the second floor, you see standing there in this large, maybe 20-foot by 20-foot room with just a table with, it seems like a map with a few arrows sort of stabbed in the map, talking with another person, a woman of that sort of same reddish-brown skin matching Alex, with different swirling tattoos. And instead of vines, they almost look more like water and waves sort of wrapping around her face. And Gray says, Mila, I have the pleasure to present these 5 who have done a fair share to keep the road safe, to save those they find along it, and they were also the ones who aided me in rescuing Juniper. And the reddish-brown-skinned woman, Mila Wayfinder, this is her.
Oh, she's so pretty.
She looks to all of you, and a sort of a smile flashes across her face, and she says, I am so grateful for what you have done. You have no idea how much it means to me. Please, come in. Take a seat if you would like, and if you would like a drink, I could have Gray would be more than happy to fetch anything that we might need.
Alec will raise her fist to her chest and kind of slightly incline her head, and she'll say, "Thank you, sister. We appreciate some good words around. It's been some time since we've met anybody who hasn't tried to kill us.
Of course,
Or
sister."
trick us, it seems.
And she does the same head nod. I would present you with my normal titles, but when taking upon the mantle of Wayfinder, I relinquish my ties to my family. For the most part. You see, your rescuing of Juniper means a great deal to me because Juniper is my blood sister from my time before the Wayfinders. Gray, who has left now, does not like to be that open about it, but they are bonded together through love and the mother's love. Juniper means a great deal to him and to me, and the fact that you were willing to help in that way means a great deal to me and him and to all of the Wayfinders at this hearth. So I would like to, if it is all right with you, as I'm sure it is, to give you some type of a reward for your good work and kind hearts.
I didn't do much. I just got rescued.
I think that we all would appreciate it, though maybe not everyone would agree with this sentiment, but a reward isn't really necessary. People were in danger and needed help, and that is what we did.
I agree with that.
Alec, you guys did introduce yourself, right?
Yeah, that happened.
Okay. Alec, I don't know if you have spent much time around the visitors and welcome guests of Efera, but I don't believe that we were your titles, or did you relinquish those for some order or oath as well?
No, she kind of realizes that she hasn't been saying it, but I think it's a part of her hasn't been saying it because a part of her doesn't even know if it exists anymore. No, I still.
Oh. Sorry, you cut out. Kayla? What? Kayla?
Joe.
Yes, I can hear you now. That was super weird.
Oh, fuck. Did you hear anything I said?
No, I'm sorry.
Dude, sorry. My bad. I think my headset might have became a little loose.
I
all she
heard
said
you
was,
perfectly.
oh, the whole thing?
Yeah.
Dope. Okay, sorry, Joe. I guess it doesn't really matter if she heard
well,
me.
damn, it really sucks that I was the person you were talking to.
I'm sorry. She just said, in Alex's really shitty way of speaking common, that she hasn't really used her titles because it seems to not matter much anymore. Like, nobody really cares about the natives' titles, but she did say that she is Alec Silverfoot of Logan Silverfoot, warden and watcher of the, and then ... trails off, and then mentioned that nobody cares really anymore, so.
And she moves closer to you, and then sort of, as you sort of like resign and give up saying it, she brings a palm up to your cheek and sort of lifts your face up. And she says, I am so sorry. But never give up. Never stop saying it. The moment you stop is the moment it stops existing. Even if you may be the last of your people, it is your duty, Alec Silverfoot of Logan Silverfoot, to carry on those titles. That is what they want. They want you to give up. They want you to stop. And you cannot.
She just kind of looks at her and nods her head. Because now she feels hella guilty. Thank you, sister. I will do so.
Do not feel bad. So many have fallen into the same trap. Separated and scattered to the wind, they lose sight of what's important. You all obviously have been through a lot. I can see it. And about this point, Gray returns and he passes... he has a collection of different things. Wine, ale, mead, water. Just a collection of different drinks. Passes them out to whoever wants them. You all have very obviously been through so much. And as a wayfinder, you have done things for my order and the people of All's Crossing and the people for Efera that it is hard for me to repay with gold or gems. And this is not something we are wealthy in anyway. So, the most I can give for the rescuing of Juniper in a currency that will appease the more money-hungry areas of Efera is 25 gold pieces to each one of you. And she disperses the gold, 25 to each one of you. And at the Maiden's Tree Inn, you are free to stay there, free of charge. Food and drink is also paid for in the time that you stay here, which I'm sure will not be long, considering you're headed to New Efera.
Thank you, sister. These are most wonderful gifts that you have given us, and again, we would have done this with or without your reward. It is the good that we wish to spread.
Of course, and I understand that completely. But I should also let you know that no one has left All's Crossing for about a day or two now, as the roads north and the roads south have become very dangerous. We have been trying our best to make them safer, but the gnolls combined with the screaming weasels, along with some type of blood curse of some sort to the north, has been corrupting and has been ravaging other natives.
What is the blood curse? What are you talking about?
It is some infection, some terrible thing that causes them to lash out and become as chaotic and erratic and bloodthirsty as the gnolls.
Alec looks at Sayla for a second and then back. Is this spreading, or is this something that's been contained, or are we not sure?
We have no idea. Any of the wayfinders that I have sent north have not returned. They have sent no messages. No bodies have been returned.
Well, that is the way we need to travel. Eventually. soon. Let's focus on rest, and we can discuss options later, but thank you for telling us this. We noticed on the way in that it was very quiet and almost uncomfortably quiet, and we didn't pass anyone else on the roads. It makes sense now.
Yes. I will let you know, sister, and I'm sure that this will be of some relief to you, but the Mother's Temple, if you visit, you may find some peace there. My Nahara, the leader of the natives, she spends most days there, as her tribe has been reduced to 8 or 9 people. Once the dominating force over this entire region, but now she is very little, but she still carries her titles. She still walks proud.
Right. I will visit her and see what information I can find, or if there's any aid I can give her.
Well, you all look tired, and you have had a long day. At the inn, just tell them Mila sent you, and everything will be taken care of.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much. It's nice to see that there isn't just all evil. And I think some of us needed to see that more than others today. So thank you, sister, for all that you've provided us.
Of course. Well, I will let all of you get back to it. Gray can show you to the inn. Thank you. Sleep well, all of you. Then she puts her hand over her chest and nods her head to all of you as Gray sort of leads you down the staircase and out to the main road, past the lavender bushes. Gray, pointing towards where the cart and owlbear still are, says, if you would like, I could take the owlbear to Watana, and she would be able to figure out a way to get him back to where he belongs.
Yes, please.
Very good. And he sort of... And the owlbear sort of gets up and just begins to move towards the noise. Good to know that still works. And scratches him, like, in this very, very... Only using 2 fingers, right underneath where, like, the jaw would be. And very lightly. And then the owlbear side of nuzzles up next to him. Good. Follow me, young one. And leads the owlbear down the path, and all of you pass a collection of buildings. You do see a part, specifically right here, these collections of buildings with the stone temple. You can see that there is a temple dedicated to the prime deities there, and this part seems to be more of the more of the colonial style building. But the rest of them are very homogeneous with the rest of them. Along your way, you can see there is a large open-air market that kind of just has a roof on it to keep the rain out if it were to rain. And Gray points there and says, if there is anything that you need before you head out in terms of weapons or armor, there is the martial market. You can find weapons, armor, shields, sometimes even minorly magical items there. It just depends who has been stopping by. This, and as you sort of to that crossroads that leads south towards the Martial Market or more north towards the Mother's Temple, there are these two large statues that stand maybe 20 feet tall, carved of one of stone and one of wood, both with vines wrapping around them, bringing them together. This is the lover's statue, a symbol of a sort for All's Crossing. These two, many, many, many years ago, received much prejudice and anger from many different people for their love for one another. But their love prevailed over all and showed that the natives of Efera and those of the colonists can live together in harmony and peace. Same as Juniper and I. It means much to me. Sorry, I did not mean to get overly emotional or sappy. Right here, and pointing to the large thatch roof building with stone sides, this is the Maiden's Tree Inn. The rooms are not of the same luxury of the colorful cauldron, but a room is a room away from gnolls and bandits.
It certainly is.
Yes. Well, and Sayla, as you're looking up at that statue, you can see that that man, the stone statue, is holding a curved blade that is almost identical to yours. And you're not sure if that means anything, but you do notice that you are wearing the same blade as him. That same curve, the hilt looks, or not the hilt, well, the hilt, the pommel, the crossguard, and the sheath all look the same. And you sort of make a mental note of that, and Gray sort of opens the door into the Maiden's Tree, and all of you are confronted by what was once the jungle sounds behind you. Now there's a collection of people talking and a small bit of music, people laughing and joking, and people who are happy. And there's a lot of people in here. And there's a small bit of music playing, and Gray walks up towards the front counter, and you can see him talking to a bald-headed man who is wearing very kind of loose and colorful clothing, bald-headed with like a little floppy mustache and a soul patch, and has a few scars on the top of his head. And they sort of talk back and forth as Gray's sort of looking up at the human man, and they talk for a little bit, and then the bald man looks up at you, and then sort of looks down at Gray, and they say a few more words together, and he points, and you can see him kind of look back up at all of you in disbelief, and then walk over, and he sort of reaches out a hand, and he says, "Hi there, it's nice to meet you. The name's Philip Hutter. It's a great pleasure to meet all of you." And sort of reaching out a hand to anyone who will grab it.
I will, and I'll say, "Always nice to meet a fan."
I bet it is. So, listen, I hate to really. I know that all of you are probably tired, and Gray just told me that you had just got done talking to Mila, but listen, I know I probably sound like a broken record here, but I just really wanted to give you my thanks. And Gray told me you probably didn't want to hear it anyway, but well, just thank you. I'm more than happy to give you nicest rooms I've got, nicest food, nicest drink I've got here. As well, not very often do I get people who are, who seem to give a shit about the people around them aside from themselves. So here, go ahead and follow me. I'll take you up to your room. So, I was just curious. You guys have kind of been the talk of the town ever since Gray got back and told us of the people who helped him save Juniper. Walking up a few sets of stairs to the third floor. So, I'm kind of curious why you guys might be heading through the wild as opposed to maybe taking a ship or something. I'm just curious because it seems like, with the roads being the way they have been the past month or so, I just assume most people would take a boat if they could. And if you all are out of New Verdalka, it seemed like the path to take.
Can I insight that?
Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check.
Was there a reason why we didn't take a boat?
Because we had to get the fuck out.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wait a second. Wait a minute. Bada bing, bada boom. Look at that, a whisper. He seems like he's really being as genuinely honest as he can, and he's just kind of excited to meet you. He really does kind of seem like a fan.
Okay, cool.
God, that's so cool.
I thought we finally found a nice group of people. Everybody was so friendly.
Well, you know what? I'm probably prying too much. I'm sorry. I just people's my game. I like to talk to people, and I like to know, why they're coming into town.
No, it's absolutely fine. We were in a rush, and we simply couldn't find time to secure passage.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Clearly, in hindsight, maybe not the best idea.
Well, hey, you gotta kind of play with the hand you're dealt. Sometimes it's hard, and sometimes it's easy, and well, it seems like you guys got dealt a really shit hand. So, I'm sorry. So, if there's anything I can do in your time in All's Crossing to make it better, I will. I kind of me and Nahara, we kind of work together to, any problems come up between the natives and the colonists, we work together to try and straighten those out, iron them out, But, you guys are probably tired and you don't really want to hear that much more tonight. So, here's your room right here. It's one of them twofers. So, you have one side on one side, or one room on one side. They're connected via a door. And then you got another set of beds on the other. So, sleep wherever you want. Use one as a lounging area. Do whatever you want. You need anything, come on down. I'm down there most of the night, so I'll make you anything you're feeling. As he kind of rubs his jaw and looks at the ground, and yeah, well, I think that's about it.
Thank you very much, Philip. It's true. Again, pleasure.
Yeah, I also need to let you know one more thing. Just, so any people who are new to All's Crossing, and for your friend here, pointing towards Alec, it won't be a problem for her. But for any new people who are not native Etherians, they you got to go through a little bit of a ritual. And it's not really even that big of a deal. It is fine. I had to go through it when I first came here, and honestly, it's kind of like meditation. Really, that's what it is, and I'll leave it at that. I'm not supposed to say too much, but it can help lead to some inner peace.
Does Alec know what he's talking about?
Kind of, yeah.
It involves smoking something that she'd be familiar with?
Yeah, that is one part. It's like a 3-part ritual, where the first part is usually the partaking in a collection of dried herbs that sort of relax your mind. And then the second part is the almost kind of like a almost like a kind of like a what you would consider a modern day baptism, where you're just kind of like drenched in water.
Okay.
And then the last part is you are left in the Mother's Temple. And the Mother's Temple takes so many different forms. But here it's that tree. So the 5 of you would be left in that tree for a certain amount of time. until inner peace is achieved.
But I know that that's what he's talking
Yeah,
about.
you know that that's generally, and it's most of the time done for when people go from, that's like their coronation. That's like their quinceañera, their shift to adulthood.
Okay, gotcha. Their bar mitzvah, if you will.
Yeah. Another term for that.
Cool.
Yeah. I just wanted to give you a heads up because some people it really freaks them out, but then they come out on the other end and they're like, "Oh no, that was actually a really good idea." So, all right. Well, if you want anything throughout the night, just come down, let me know, and I will get it taken care of for you. Nahara will probably be by sometime in the morning, I'm sure. Mila has already told her about your arrival. And, yeah. All right, well...
That's great.
Does he seem nervous or something?
He seems a little nervous, and he's just... You can tell he's done this many, many times. So... you kind of get the feeling that sometimes people react in a lot of different ways. So considering your guys' power level, if you will, he's a little bit worried how you'll react.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. Which, actually, you know what? Probably since Alec, doesn't know it. Since she has already been through that, she'll honestly probably, I don't know, she might be your guide through it. A little interesting. But
Am I allowed to be? Is there a rule? Typically it is an elder.
Yeah, well, you would be their sort of, like I said, guide. Probably Watana would end up being the one who orchestrates the whole thing, but, I mean, you would honestly, being the one closest to this group, you'd probably be their guide through it.
And she looks like she has way more responsibility than she was expecting to have in this moment. Okay. Okay. I think that is something I can do.
Yeah, and who knows? Nahara might change her mind. I don't know. Well, here, you guys, like I've said it about 4 times now, but just rest. If you need any food, ask for it. And I'll get out of your hair now. All right. Have a good night. And he kind of turns around and heads back down the stairs.
Can we lock the door when he leaves?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he seem a little weird to anyone?
Very.
I mean, I truly, I just think he was quite excited.
I'm not sure.
I don't think he's used to these businesses.
Well, if we are going to be having to do the ritual tomorrow, I think you all should get some sleep and relax. And just prepare yourselves to be very open-minded, if you will.
What is this going to entail?
It's really nothing, like, physically exerting, per se. It's just to help you reach another level of clarity that you might not already have.
Whoa, shit.
Can we really afford the time?
I like size. Typically, it isn't a long process, but it would require us to be here for at least another day. But if the roads are dangerous ahead, it wouldn't hurt to have level heads amongst us. She kind of like shoots a look between Sayla and Morganix. Something to think about. Nalik will like grab some blankets and make a nest on the floor.
Okay. Anybody else have any nighttime rituals they'd like to accomplish?
Well, not so much a ritual yet, but before that, how are we divvying up? Where like, are we all sleeping in the same room? There's a resting area, or like, how are we dividing that? Guys and gals, what do we want to do?
I think Alec just made a spot in the first room that they were in on the floor. I think
Okay,
she
so-
kind of took it up by like near the door. So if somebody was to try to come in the door, she would be right there.
I mean, just what does the group want to do? I'm curious.
I'm a man of leisure. I want whatever's got the most comfort.
What does the rooms look like, Joe?
So the rooms are fairly, there's not a whole lot going on. Both rooms are about the same. It does seem like in the first room, though, there is one very nice feather pillow.
And it now belongs to Cyrus.
I'd make a beeline for that.
So yeah, you sort of grab it and it is so soft. Oh, you're not sure if somebody left this behind, but that was their mistake. They have to reap what they sow because it's
My
yours
gain.
now. Yep. Exactly.
Organics.
Hmm?
And like when you look over, Varnast like tosses you the bag that was given to him. You all can distribute that amongst yourselves. No, Selah, I cannot hear you.
Come back, Sarah.
No.
All right, come on.
How about now?
How about now?
Yeah,
Yep.
there we go.
Hey.
How long that was an issue because I've been saying things and nobody's commenting, so I've been like, oh, I guess
Aww,
go ahead.
Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, by the way, the moment you said there was a feather pillow, she stole it. I had said she stole it before he had a chance to grab it.
Oh, that's funny.
But I guess it doesn't matter because you guys couldn't hear.
Well, here, you know what? We'll have Cyrus and Selah roll for initiative.
Okay. I
See
gotta
who gets
pull up
there
my.
first.
Darn computer! I don't know why it's doing
Oh
that.
well, fuck me.
Yeah, it cannot. Cyrus, you sort of make a line, but you see a tankard of wine, like a pitcher of wine, and you think you have enough time to go for it, and then go for it, and as soon as you look back towards the pillow, Selah is already sitting on the bed, resting on the pillow, kind of fluffing it.
I'm incredibly unhappy right now.
Vargas, I think you should keep this.
I was not involved in the task with which you were rewarded, so.
Well, neither was Selah, but we still let her keep hers.
Well,
I would love to see you try and take it.
that is Selah's decision. This is mine.
I mean, it's not going to split evenly between 4 people anyway. You should just keep it so we don't fight over it.
That can be split evenly, can it?
25?
Divided by 4.
All right, fine. You each take 6. I'll take 1 gold. Now it's even.
So, the statue outside, it matches my sword, the sword that the man had.
I kind of paused and think back. Was the statue of Baramichi?
There was no inscription or inscribing on there, and he was wearing the man was wearing a full masked helm. And it's covered in moss and vines, so it's kind of hard to tell. All that was really visible was the sword.
And the woman he was with was a native woman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we've heard references to some woman with him so far. Maybe there's a reason he stayed here.
Maybe. Sayla kind of glances over towards Cyrus, just to kind of gauge how he's feeling after she stole the pillow.
I'm particularly salty.
Of course he is.
I'm like drinking wine, just glaring.
She fluffs it up a little more and just snickers at him. She knows exactly what she did.
Well, unless I'm needed, I think I'm gonna go work out.
Okay.
If you... Are you leaving the room?
I could do it in the other room. I was gonna go outside because I plan on pushing myself.
Just when you return, just knock 3 times so that I know it's you.
Alright. In like a particular fashion or just a random amount of 3?
As long as it's 3, you can enter.
Alright.
Now we'll like plop down and make herself comfortable in front of the door.
Okay. Everybody else just resigning to sleep except for Varnast?
Yep.
Yeah.
He's gonna go get swole.
Alright, so Varnast, you head outside, and there are a few open areas where you can do what you need to. Push-ups, burpees, running, you know.
Yeah, he does push-ups, but like with his shield on his back, with like other stuff on top of it to like weigh him down, and he does push-ups with those.
Okay. So yeah, definitely works up quite a bit of a sweat.
Yeah.
Till eventually you feel as though you've pushed yourself pretty hard. And you make your way back to the inn, head back up to the room, you knock
3 times.
3 times.
I was like, wait a minute.
And
Yeah, Alec will let him in.
Alec lets you in. You flop down into a bed and head to sleep. And all of you, for once in the past, what feels like 3 years, lay down in a bed that, for as far as you can tell, is actually peaceful. Your sleep is not disturbed by anything. You wake up the next morning clear and refreshed with 3 knocks on your door. And that's where we're going to end today's session.
Alright.
Wait, 3 knocks that were somebody else that wasn't Varnast?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Interesting.
Oh boy.
Can't wait to rub it in Cyrus's face a little more.
I don't know if I'd read too deep into that 3 knock thing.
Okay. Alright, never mind.
No, this is important.
I don't
on
know. The
on
last
purpose.
place we were at, there was a freaking hag, and you know, shit went to freaking. Yup.
Or read into the 3 knock thing however deep you want. I'm excited to hear the conspiracy theories.
Right. Racing a
I'm just waiting for Sayla. Oh, there's such a crick in my neck. That pillow was too big.
Too soft.
What if it's Varnast from the future? He's come here to warn his younger self that he shouldn't trust any of you.
Fair.
Oh, man. I'll tell you what. That was some... there's some good stuff.
That was
here.
a session.
Yeah.
That
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta do... Okay, I'm gonna stop recording, but if anybody made it this far, thank you for watching. I appreciate you greatly. Alright, bye. Adios.
Naturally charismatic, man.
Thank you. And